Ugh. Okay. So there's so much shit. There's so much to go through. Um. Oh yeah. So yeah, there's been a lot apparently of stuff that's been going on this last few weeks between the two communities of Destiny, guy in the top left there, and Mr. Girl. Can kind of see him in the right corner here. So I listen to a lot of Destiny. Um, I only know Mr. Girl because of Destiny. I think that's like most of the people that probably watch Mr. Girl right now. That's probably why. Long story short, apparently they got into some disagreement recently. Um, about a month or two ago, Destiny started talking to Nick Fuentes again. He's like a far right, like gripper kind of guy. Um, and a lot of people in his community had problems with it. Mr. Girl had problems with it, and they had a little bit like an argument there. And they were amicable to each other at the end. They were still fine with each other. But then a person from that side, like from Nick Fuentes' side, mass reported Mr. Girl. He got banned off YouTube, and then Destiny's been trying to like get his channel back on. And then apparently, I don't know what happened here. This is how I understand it starting with this like conversation. So I'm gonna take a look at this and then see what happens now, because where we're currently at, apparently Mr. Girl is like waging war against Destiny's community or something like that. So yeah, I have absolutely no idea. I might just watch. I don't know if I'm gonna play something while I do this, but I'm super interested in what happened. So let's get this over here. Let's put this up here. Let's give this a shot. Let's see what the fuck happened.
Stop talking. Please stop
Tell
talking.
me to
Let
shut up.
finish.
Wait, okay,
Okay,
chill.
shut the
I don't think Max thinks I'm bad. Max, do you think I'm bad?
A little bit.
Okay.
You've already backed off. Can you?
Oh my god, there's a lot of people that join this fucking channel or join this thing. Is that Sneeko too? Is Sneeko join this? There's a lot of shit going on here. I'll wait till this like intro done.
Anything.
Cherry, shut the up, you retard.
Oh my god.
To me. Listen to me.
Call me
How
a
hard
retard, I
is this
don't
to
care.
understand? Your brain is smooth. Listen to me.
All I had to do was ask, are you sure? And you backed up.
And how
I don't
want
care
to
about the
attend-
problems you have with porn. We were talking about whether
So
or not.
what are you asking me,
Oh
Steven?
my god.
I'm not trying to attack you. I'm just trying to make sure we understand each other. Don't act like I'm attacking you. Because if you want me to attack you, I'll attack you.
Hi, Cherry, you retard.
Whoa. Okay.
Okay, let's turn.
Okay. I'll also say this at the beginning. I have a video with Destiny and Lav talking. That Lav, Luna, or some top right there. I said it before. Don't really like her that much. And at least just from that opening, I wonder. I don't know enough about the Cherry person. I'm curious. If she's gonna make a criticism that I also don't like. It's like, as I said in the past with Lav, I feel like everything is just so wishy-washy. Doesn't feel like she has any hard stances on anything, or she doesn't understand her own stances. It feels like, I don't know. That's just the feeling I get whenever I hear her talk.
Turn the temperature down a little bit.
No, dude,
hello.
she literally goes on, her whole thing is like,
Ugh.
she's so attention seeking. Then she
You know
comes
I
on
know
here
what I'm
and
saying, 'cause
farms
I'm gonna
drama
get bored
from
if I just
you.
keep watching.
Please. Please.
Okay. How did I farm drama from him? Please explain.
Well, you went on and fucking talked about me first, and then you're going on, dude. Come on.
No. Explain it. Go ahead.
Hey,
What?
Lav.
No, actually elaborate
Hey,
what
Lav.
the fuck
Hey,
you
Lav.
mean by
Right,
I
fucking
drama
woman.
farmed.
Hey, Lav. You need a lawyer?
Cece, I do.
Oh.
Cringe.
I'm your court-appointed, state-appointed attorney here to help you out. What's going on? How can I help
Jesus
you with
Christ.
this
And then-
cherry situation?
Dude, I don't know what the fuck to do. Half of me is like, do I want to give this bitch any fucking attention? Obviously, you're
Oh my
having a
God.
field day with all the views I'm driving you. You were like a 43 viewer Andy, and then all of a sudden this week you're getting
That's
like
really
120
specific,
fucking
Lav.
stream. Yeah.
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 Oh my
You're
god,
right.
do they?
Yeah, there are a lot of people who are really interested and entertained watching you talk shit in circles.
Yeah,
Rude.
no, they are
Thank you.
entertained. They are entertained watching me. You're right. Maybe you should take notes
Yes.
on that. Maybe you should integrate
Ooh,
it.
this is
No,
gonna be
I
cringe.
don't want
This
to
is
be a
gonna super-
lolcow.
This is gonna be super cringe. Ugh, I can already feel it. I can already feel it. Ugh. Okay.
No, you don't. No, but you are.
That is what is happening on my stream, and I felt bad, so I went on Destiny's stream
You
to
felt
ask him
so
advice.
You felt so bad. That's why you told me to call the suicide hotline the other night. You just felt so
God, I don't know any of this backstory. For this.
Hold on.
Did I miss something? Hold on, let me go back through what videos he has, because I don't. Something missed? No, the last one you talked a lot was that fucking trans debate. Okay, whatever. Well, there's like 3 videos in queue after this.
Now we're
Yeah,
jumping.
no, no, no,
Now we're jumping.
No, this is actually out of the
Let me-
kindness of
let me
your heart.
respond
No,
to that.
No, that
Yes.
makes a lot of sense. Okay, yeah.
Okay, can I respond?
Yeah, I'll allow it.
Okay.
Good.
You
Good.
you
She'll
tweeted
allow it.
out, or not tweeted, you did a video in your announcement to returning to sex work that you privated
Wait, what? She's going back to sex work? So the little bit I know of Lav is that she did sex work for a little bit. I don't know how long. Maybe a few years, actually. Damn. I don't know how long. But she's come out of it saying that it feels like she made it sound like it's really bad for people. That she's regretted it. I do remember there was a conversation she was having a while back, maybe only a few weeks ago, maybe last month, where she was talking about like missing that kind of like income for sure. Like that has been a big thing for her. But I didn't know she would actually like go back to sex work. But okay, I mean, if that's what she wants to do. It seemed like it had a pretty heavy toll on her though. At least the way she made it sound before. But hey, people can change.
your videos and you blamed it on me. And you said, I'm doing these streams, I'm so mean, and that you got banned from my chat, but you couldn't help but keep watching it, and it was like self-harm to you. So when I do have somebody who I think is not well, who has a history of suicidality and cutting, and you tell me watching my VOD and watching my stream is like self-harm and you can't stop,
so what
I'm
you
gonna
do-
tell you to f off. And yeah, I'm gonna link you to
Wait,
suicide
people-
hotline. I don't want any of that fucking baggage on me.
You didn't link me the suicide hotline. You're posturing right now. You did it because you want to be a f***ing alpha female bitch. You didn't do it because you f***ing cared about me. You
Oh
piece
my
of
God.
shit.
I don't care about you, so don't tell me about your suicidality. F off.
Wait, you don't care about me, but you do.
No,
I'm
I
getting a
don't
little-
care about you. If I
Cherry,
cared about you, I would have
Cherry,
addressed it.
Cherry, you're flip-flopping a lot in this conversation.
Ooh.
I
want
am
you to, like,
consistently
pick a
not
move.
giving a fuck about you. I'm
Really?
worried about me and what I'm doing.
That makes a lot of sense.
It,
That makes a
I'm
lot of sense.
What? Okay, I hate this.
hoping it does.
I'm glad we got there. I'm glad we got there. I'm glad that you admitted that everything you do is selfish and that you are not trying to help me at all or trying to.
I don't know if I should call this. I need to retitle this because apparently this is not Destiny and Mr. Girl Drama yet. I just assumed I saw him in it, so I assumed this is where it all started. I guess I'll just call this Destiny Orbiter Drama. Destiny.
No, I'm not trying to help you. Holy shit.
So what are you trying to do? Just gain attention, right?
No, I'm making content that's interesting for me.
So
Do you think that
attention?
anytime someone talks
So
about you, they have to
attention?
care about you?
So attention.
Lad, there's nothing wrong with wanting attention.
No,
Yeah, I
don't
do.
think
I
there
do
is.
stream for attention. I
No,
hope people
no,
watch me.
no.
Sometimes I show them
Max,
my ass.
Yeah.
Max, my
do
problem.
want
My problem
attention.
isn't about attention. I'm all for
why are
everyone.
you talking
If it's not
about
about
everyone's a
attention, why do you
streamer.
keep fucking saying attention?
Because Cherry, your whole mode, everything I did, you took notes on me, wanting attention.
I did because you are so
manipulating people for attention.
inconsistent. People have to take notes on you to keep up with the shit that you word vomit and the positions that
Oh,
you
someone else joined.
fucking flip flop on.
I don't. Oh my god, the gang's back together. This is huge. I haven't really. I don't know if I flip flop that much, Cherry. The
Ooh,
problem.
You
I think she does. I feel like she does.
don't
Here.
know.
I feel like she says something. I get the feeling like Lav says something, and then with the smallest bit of pushback, will either concede it or go with something, just like give up on it. And that's what I said. Like I feel like she doesn't have any hard, strict feelings on anything, which is it's okay to like go with things, but then to sound very confident in something and then easily like with just a little bit of pushback, then like give up on it. That's just I don't know. It just gets annoying after a while.
The problem here is that you are a pot calling me black. Me being the kettle.
You called yourself
my
black
God.
and slow, by the way.
What a fucking
Yeah, and I
butchering
told you that was a Jesse Lee Peterson quote. We told you that, and then you still took it, and you were like, "She's a racist."
I don't know who is we. Who is we, Lav?
The people who were on Cozy, but it was me. It was
Yeah.
who else
Everyone
was
on
there?
Cozy told me to take a black joke. That's how you remember it?
I want to play something, but I just don't know what to play, dude. I don't know, what's something easy? Just like let my mind. Oh, I guess I can go for the Vampire Survivor stuff. No, I already 100% all that shit.
No, that's not what happened. But I
know
had
it's not.
explained.
I
had
know it's not what
explained to you-
happened.
I had explained to you the catchphrase, and you were like, "Oh," and then you weeks later were like, "Oh, she said something racist," which is weird to do.
So did I say that you were making a racist joke to a community that is most likely racist to gain their fucking favor in that room?
Well, you were there, so they can't be that racist, right?
They absolutely can. What the
What?
fuck? Do you? Okay, this is what I'm talking about. When I feel like talking to you is something that I need to get advice from other people on.
Yeah.
You
on
need a lawyer?
stream. On stream. Need to get
Yeah.
advice from Steven on stream about it.
Yeah, who?
Yeah.
So we gotta assign a man to each woman in the
Yeah,
conversation.
shut the f-
Oh my god, true.
But I want to say I do
I'm
want
your-
to get advice on stream because I want people to be able to see the fact that I'm asking these questions
Well,
because
nobody
I have
knows
asked
Lav
them.
better than I do. So.
Oh my
Dude,
god.
But I just want to say because I
Disgusting.
talked to my stream about this worry, but I feel like I want like more people to be able to see that I'm actually like
So
trying to.
what is the criticism? So what is your problem with me, Cherry? I want to know. I'd like to have a
I'm playing a fucking roguelike. Oh wait, I do have that. Now I'll just play this. Make this small. Put that right there. Up in the corner there. Wait, what? Wait, what? There we go. It'll be stretched, but whatever. It's fine.
No,
sense.
I'm not done. I'm not done with my dive into
attention
your
farming.
content.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
No, it's not attention farming. It's like
Attention
literally going through your
So you don't.
own.
You've
your
gone
own
through.
VODs.
You've gone through like over 10 hours of my content yet, though. You
No.
don't like have an idea of what you don't like about me.
Oh, I have an idea, but I don't have the whole
Let's
idea.
talk
There's
about it.
there's like 20 other VODs I have to watch. Like the list of things wrong with you. I just want you to be very clear. It is probably gonna get longer.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but should we
But
talk about?
where I'm at so far.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you upset about with her
you're
right now?
inconsistent. I
Yeah.
don't take you for
About what?
sincere. Oh, I didn't come here with a fucking PowerPoint. You're the one who hopped on Steven's stream.
Girl, you took
and you had a
notes.
lot of shit to say. So just tell the things that you said to Steven earlier. Repeat them now.
What did I say earlier? Didn't you watch? You had to have watched it.
I rolled out of bed and I've been here since.
Damn.
Welp. Yeah, you were trying to paint everything I was doing as manipulative, which was weird.
I think it was Max who pointed out that you were being manipulative in that conversation with him.
Yeah,
and
well,
I just
that's because
know
Max,
what- I don't know
Max
the
is
conversation
as
they're
equally
referring
as
to for
mentally ill
this.
as you are, so that makes sense.
Yo, true. Max is Mr. Girl.
I was
Like,
not.
what does mental illness even mean to you?
So like, I think when
When people don't agree with you, when people think
No.
Lav is bad, it's mental illness. Must
No.
be.
I don't think Max thinks I'm bad. Max, do you think I'm bad?
A
Ooh.
little bit.
Okay. Just kidding then. Fuck. Okay,
Oh, you might be
that
mentally
one.
ill.
That one.
Not that.
You don't know what's
bad.
happening on.
Okay.
Oh, wait,
I
there
think you're
was the
mostly
thing.
bad to yourself.
You said you came in and that I was like unhinged, and I said, I hate her, and any conversation I have after this is gonna be out of load.
That's
Right?
yeah. You typed that. You typed it out.
Yeah, I typed it. I didn't fucking say it, right? You said
They are
that
very
I
different.
yelled that I hate her, and any conversation is out of load. It's
Are
me
they
fucking
different?
typing my thoughts.
Are they different?
They are different because when you came
I
into my
tweet-
chat and asked me about it,
Can I
I
tweet
told
the
you, yeah,
N-word
I really
right now?
don't like you.
Wait,
Can I
what
tweet
is
the N-word
happening?
right now?
Why?
I'm not
probably
saying it.
would.
I'm not saying it.
What is
It's
this?
different.
Okay.
What makes
and
it different, Cherry? You said that, and then you told me. To call it in the worst way possible.
Do you know?
After-
Do you know why I
was
said
very
that? Do you know
level-
why I said that?
I don't
Can you
really
explain?
care.
Can you explain to the
Leave
stream
it.
why I said
Oh
that?
yeah,
Can
it
you
doesn't
explain to them?
matter. Context
Continue.
matters
So
not
this
here.
was.
Nope.
Wait,
you
can I
explain.
just have real quick? Why you said what?
Yeah.
Why I said that? Why I typed down that I hate Lav and that any conversation I have with her afterwards is gonna be out of loathe.
Okay.
And she came into my stream and
Out of
then I
loathe.
doubled down and
I
told her
will
I
loathe
don't
it.
like you.
Okay.
That wasn't even the part. The part that I have a problem with was you being like so insensitive and disgusting.
But maybe we
towards-
should explain why I said that, right?
Disgusting towards
So
what?
let me finish.
Okay, thank you.
So the part that I have a problem with was you being so rude and saying like, you were like, get the fuck out of here. I don't
Yeah,
want
because
to
I wanted
partake.
you to fucking leave.
Okay. I don't want to partake in your self-harm.
Yeah, because I
isn't
think
there a
threatening
hotline?
suicide is fucking weird.
When did the fuck
Wait,
did I
did she
threaten
Making
threaten
jokes about
suicide?
self-harming, watching my content. That is like threatening. That's
you
like
take
Okay, okay, that's okay. This cherry person's being a little weird. Saying like, oh my god, this content is making me want to like, like end myself in a game or something. That's depending on how she said it. That's memeing. Like, come on. Like, there's, maybe they'll show us, maybe he'll play the video, but depending on how she said it, you can just take it as a joke. It's not like a big deal.
You took me completely out of f***ing context, bitch.
no, I
that
took you
VOD
in
still up.
context.
That
You
VOD is
wish
still up.
everyone would look at you as a joke.
That VOD is still f***ing up. I literally was like, oh, I couldn't stop watching. It was like a car crash. It was like a need
You
to
didn't
like
say
keep
car
watching.
crash. You said it was self-harm.
Yes, I did, but it was
Oh
like
my
I said it was
God.
like a form of self-harming, and then I laughed, hee hee hee. I was like, it was very much like not.
Yeah, like, oh, this is not good. If that's actually her complaint, is the fact that she said it like, oh my god, watching this thing is like self-harm. Like, I watch things that make me cringe so much that like hurt me inside. It is hurting me. It is a form of self-harm in some manner. But it's like kind of harm that I like.
It's very much like ha ha ha. It wasn't like I'm about to kill myself, and for you to
Hey,
paint
you
it
are
that way is
completely
insane.
empathizing with yourself. I think for me on my stream, I do not need to let you sit there and watch me, knowing that you said that. I get to be uncomfortable about that
That's very
and
big of
remove
you.
you.
That's very big of you. Thank you.
So, I'm curious. So, did she remove her from chat, or was she in the stream with her? I don't understand. If she's on her stream saying that, and I guess she doesn't want to deal with it, yeah, I mean, yeah, she has every right to be like, yo, get the fuck out of here. And that's perfectly fine.
Okay. I think it's also worth noting why I said that I hate you in that conversation.
I forgot.
Of course you would.
Of course you
were
would.
having a conversation with Steven,
And that's why I hate you, 'cause you were
explaining your porn
communicating with
addiction
him.
when you were younger, saying that when you were 11,
Hold on.
you stumbled
Careful.
into porn.
Around Max, careful. Careful.
I'm not worried about Max.
See, she's me.
You said that
You've
you.
already
This is the thing that I hate, is when people do this. Everything is fucking jokes all the time. Like, sure they were memeing for a little bit. Oh fuck. Sure they were memeing there for a little bit, but like for a second there, she's gonna go into like, hey, this is why I said what I said, why I don't like you. And she's been asking her to like tell her and be like, hey, you should explain why you don't like me and like all this shit. And then when she does it, she's like, oh, now I have to make a joke about Max because he's here. I hate
served
it.
your time
Hate
for
it.
this offense, Lab.
You said that you stumbled onto porn when you were like 11. Within like 3 days, you were watching really extreme porn, and he was like, "Oh, wow." And then you gasped the situation. You were like, "Yeah, you know, there's studies that show watching extreme porn at a young age is like the same trauma as being molested or assaulted as a kid." And I just go make yourself like the most intense victim somewhere else. So
Wait,
yeah,
did she say that? Wait, she
molested or assaulted as a kid. Studies that show extreme porn, and he was like, "Oh."
Your time for this offense, Lab.
You said that you stumbled onto porn when you were like 11. Within like 3 days, you were watching really extreme porn, and he was like, "Oh, wow." And then you gasped the situation. You were like, "Yeah, you know, there's studies that show watching extreme porn at a young age is like the same trauma as being molested or assaulted as a kid." And I just like
I don't
just
know if that's
go-
true or
go
not.
make
I
yourself-
mean, I'm not gonna. That sounds ridiculous, and that's what she's probably emphasizing on. Is like, oh, you're talking about that you saw something extreme, and now you're making yourself a victim because you weren't molested or anything, but you were like you watched extreme porn or some shit. I think she was also like molested though. But in any case, I wouldn't just throw that out. I don't know if that's true or not, but I don't know.
like the most intense victim somewhere else. So yeah, I hate you for that.
For that?
Because that was me victimizing my like.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, my young porn addiction story isn't intense enough, so I have to let people know that my trauma, it's almost as similar as getting raped as a kid.
Oh shit.
Oh, that was not where I was coming from with that. I
Well,
think it's
you have to
I thought that was
understand that
an-
that's how it's
pick that
read.
up.
I thought you were attacking the porn industry more than victimizing yourself with that.
Yeah, that is what I was doing. So
Well,
I
I
think
also
it's
thought you were advertising.
I
your own-
know, I
so,
know!
Okay, I just want to say, but aside from that, I think you were attacking porn more than yeah. I don't think you were.
Yeah,
trying to play the
I don't
victim
think that was victimizing myself at all. But that was a lot of the criticism you levied against me was that
Um, I don't know if it's victimizing. I mean, I would have to hear how that was said. I can understand. I can definitely get the feeling. I can definitely I can definitely understand someone. God damn it! What is wrong? I need to get some water or something. I can definitely understand someone getting that feeling. If I brought up something and I said, "Oh my god," and then I said, something along the lines of like, "Hey, I did this thing, and did you know that this thing means that like I was severely abused, or I could have been severely abused, or something like that, and I could have like lost my life." I am kind of like making myself out to be like a survivor, a hero, or something like that. Not hero, but like a victim. So I could definitely get that feeling.
I was like consistently victimizing myself, which I think is really interesting because I think that
Yeah, you would often bring
don't
up
think that I
you're not
have.
listening to me because I'm a woman and shit like that.
I think
most
that
of it
often
wasn't.
I think that oftentimes people don't listen to me because I'm a woman.
Which is also that's a valid argument. Just because she does say that, she says it like frequently, being like, "Hey, you aren't listening to me because I'm a woman." It's possible that that's who she's interacting with. You do have to be careful though, because depending on who she's talking to and the context of that, it could be very obvious that that's not the case. That she's falling on that to be like, "Hey, this person's not listening to me or doesn't agree with me because I'm a woman. Therefore, you can't take them seriously." That's really shitty. Hopefully, that's not what happens. But like I said, I would fight against that. I don't know if that's true. Just because she brings up the fact that someone's not agreeing with her because she's a woman, the people she's talking to, it could be literally that.
I don't think that's all the criticism, right? I don't think that that's every criticism, but I think that certainly happens.
But you have been highlighting the one moment where I was
How do you get rid of wood?
upset on my stream.
sexy.
I was triggered, and I think it's,
Ow.
That's
it's
just
probably
what I
more
watched.
fair to point out why I was triggered.
Well, it seemed like everything I do is triggering you, so really, I
No.
think that you should call the
No, it
suicide
isn't.
hotline and stop
No,
reviewing
not
my
really.
content because I feel like it's self-harm.
Listen, I don't have a problem reviewing your content. I just don't like when you honestly play the victim while I'm doing it.
What do you mean play the victim? I was typing.
Saying
lol.
watching my stream feels like
I was
self-harm to you,
typing,
and you
I was
can't help but watch my
LOL in
stream.
chat. I was typing LOL in chat, and you're like, "You're out of here," and I was like, "Okay."
Get out of here.
Kinda
No, you
weird.
wouldn't just type LOL in chat. You typed the first time in my chat to tell me to, or you said have a conversation with me, like don't watch my content. Just
I
have a
didn't say
convo
don't
with
watch
me.
content. I said we can just have a conversation if it's easier.
Wait,
No,
Cherry,
it
I feel
wasn't
like we all
easier.
don't we all just kind of like flail and air out our mental health troubles like online. I feel like the three of us do that pretty consistently.
3 of us. Oh, okay. nice.
Okay, but when I do it, I'm not putting that on other people. I feel like when she does air out her shit, and then she,
That's not
like,
true.
she'll
You
tell
had the
you
whole
what's
shit
wrong with you. She'll tell you you're having.
You had the shit with Hans.
Pause.
Hans.
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 And you also wrote a fucking twit longer about Steven. Like, what the fuck do you mean, bitch?
Yeah, we're all constantly.
That is me airing out mine. That's not me taking my trauma and telling other people how they have to view the entire sex work industry. Telling Genevieve she's actually a victim. You don't understand. You have to listen to my story.
You
Your
get
story
you
is.
get on me. You get on me
I'm
for
king.
deflecting
Wait, aren't you doing
the
it
way
right
that
now? You're saying I'm self-harming with your content and kind of blaming Lab for that.
No, I did not say I'm self-harming.
I don't
You
know.
said reviewing her content was self-harming.
No, she was.
No, I
quoting.
said
Oh, she's saying
listening
you-
to
Yeah,
that one
oh my
thing
God,
where she
Max is
conflated
confusing me
watching
now.
extreme porn to being
Gotcha.
raped as a
okay.
kid. I got triggered in that. I wrote it down and I moved the fuck on. I didn't message her. I didn't make a VOD to her about how like her shit is making me feel like I need to self-harm. I made a note and I moved the fuck on. That's not what Lab.
Yeah, I mean, directly reaching out to someone and like letting them know that like that would be weird. If that's what she did, if she went into chat and like started messaging her like, "Hey, just so you know, I'm watching your content and it's self-harming me," that's weird. That's like a little bit of a like harassy. Just making a video on it, that I don't know. Just because she's like reviewing her content and then says, "Hey, I'm review." If I review someone's content and then I'm like, "Wow, this video is making me want to self-harm myself," I'm not making it that person's problem. I'm going over. I'm choosing to do it, and if I take it to them and physically like make them part of it, then it's on me.
does. She makes it my fucking responsibility.
I made a video and then I touched on it for a second. I was like, yeah, that was f***ing crazy. Maybe the worst person to walk in on going over your content, LOL, and then I f***ing moved on. Why are you acting
Did
like
you
I had
move
like
on?
a fucking sob story?
You were in my
Yes.
chat the next day. What are you talking about? You
But I
moved
feel like
on.
isn't this what streaming is? I feel like this is what
Yes,
streaming is. Like, isn't
yes.
that what we all do all the time?
No,
say,
but
like,
this
Okay,
is the
but
problem.
Max,
Cherry
I feel
thinks
like
she's
I get
above
the
it.
right-
She's alpha female. She's alpha
No,
female.
I don't think I'm alpha female.
Yes,
I think
you
I have the
do.
right that if someone that I think is just going to
Oh,
lie
wait,
to me, and
Wait, what is this? What is this item? This ballot is proof of participation in the democratic process. PSA voting is cool no matter what anyone says. Okay. Sure.
the moment that I want to watch more of their content and be in a more confident place before I talk to them, knowing that they're going to be willing to lie and pivot and talk in circles. Like, it's not an unreasonable request
Wait, what's the request?
that I don't have to have her on my stream and talk to her
Really,
right
you
away
don't?
if I feel like she's going to just lie to me in the moment, or that she just says whatever
Sure.
she can to appease the room.
Yeah, you don't
That
have
is
to
half
have-
of her fucking problem.
But you don't have to have anybody on your stream if you don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying I want to go through her content. I want to see all the ways that she's changed her positions, that she's pivoted, shit like that. And she's saying that I need to entertain a conversation with her.
I
Is she
never
saying
said that.
that?
I said we can talk if it's easier.
That's
I
not
didn't.
what you said.
Yes,
what'd she
then
say?
That is exactly what I fucking said.
Wait, what did she say
Okay,
then?
okay, fine, whatever. I'm
Whoa,
calling this
no,
into-
that's not good.
Girl, do you really wanna-
I also hate that. Don't ever. That's fucking bullshit. It's like, that is what I said. Or like, if I ask you like, okay, what I say, and you just say, okay, whatever. No, fuck you. Tell me what I said then.
Talk to you after you were that. Like, what conversation could we possibly have that gets to a good place after the way you fucking talk to me? You're a bitch. You're like a hateful person.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Do you
I don't
think that?
even-
Do you think that you
Is
being
it-
like, I
well-
fucking hate this girl makes me want to
listen.
talk to you at all?
Is it really hateful though? Because this is just kind of like the content mill, right? People
Who is that? Wait, is that Stardust?
just kind of cover each other's stuff, right?
No,
I don't know
it
if
is
that's
hateful. If
hateful.
you point out her contradictions, it has to be fucking hateful. If you
That's
analyze
the
anything that she's
problem.
saying,
That's not
wanting
the
to be a
problem.
socio-political
Okay. Man, I'm getting so lost. So I guess where we're at right now, Cherry was reviewing Lav's stuff, making comments about Lav, and then Lav was also watching that stuff, and then saying like, oh, her critiquing me is like making me want to self-harm myself. But maybe she said it as a joking way, and then apparently Lav says, if you're critiquing me, you're only doing it because I'm a woman and you want to be an alpha woman or something like that. So saying that all her like arguments are in bad faith, and you're not actually like addressing anything. And then Cherry sees it as her making herself a victim and like forcing her to deal with that, and like putting it on her as like, oh, if you review my stuff, you're making me want to self-harm myself. That's my understanding of what's going on right now. God damn.
fucking
Oh my
commentator.
god! I can't
It's
believe you just handed
you've
her
got to
that
just be a
bone
bitch.
Stardust. I can't believe you just handed her that fucking bone Stardust. There are plenty of people who have critiqued me and not been a fucking hateful bitch and been like, call the suicide hotline. You were just fucking
Because
rude
you
for no
fucking
fucking
laugh
reason.
and pretend like nothing is serious. That's why nobody sticks to it. Because you're not willing to
What
own
are
up to
you
anything
saying?
that you have said.
I've owned up to everything. What am I not owning up to?
Absolutely not.
What am I not owning up to?
She has to
Please.
have an example. She
I
has
mean,
to
if we
have
want to
one.
talk about it, what was your take about Amaranth?
But what about Amaranth?
My take about Amaranth has changed.
Oh, so you don't think that she... So, not owning up to it.
Ooh,
Thank you.
I don't know
Thank
what,
you.
what you're talking about, but that didn't sound
no,
good.
no, but my critique of Amaranth, because I tuned in to see myself talk about it. That was this was the second week I'd
You
ever
tuned
streamed.
in, right? Yeah, my
This
stream,
was the
because you can't
second
fucking
week
stop
I'd
watching
ever
it.
Streamed. The second week I had ever streamed, and so that
Okay.
excuse. First, I want to make sure I have an excuse on the table first.
An excuse for what? What is
and-
it?
Yep,
What?
get your
I had
excuse.
said-
Also,
I
your
had said-
victimhoods, right? You're autistic, right?
Yeah,
Add
I'm
that there.
autistic. I'm Jewish. I'm a woman. I'm Mexican. Yeah, all of it.
Yeah, go on.
I'm black. I'm slow.
Oh my god.
I wanted to. So Amaranth.
Literally
I
laughing
think
by
I think
yourself.
Oh.
I'm very funny. And
Ugh.
but when I was talking about
Not
Amaranth,
good.
I had the here. This is still true. Amaranth's whole business model is about like her.
So now
boobs.
it's still true. God damn it. Just
Okay.
fucking pick one.
Okay, true. This is the problem. This is the problem with Lav. Is the fact that whenever she's challenged, not whenever she's challenged. I'll be generous. I'll be charitable. That's what I should say. Whenever she's challenged on something like on things like this, she'll go back and forth about like, I really believe this thing. But maybe she'll say it in a weird way, and then when you challenge her on it, she'll like drop it. But then she'll bring it back up and be like, well, no, I still do believe this thing. It's like, but you already said that you gave up on that thing. It's like this back and forth and shit.
Well, multiple things can be true at once, Jerry. Right?
True.
In your head. Only in your head do they all exist at the same fucking time.
I don't think that's true. I think that usually people who can see like complexity in situations usually have parts of them that align with different parts of different scenarios. But in this scenario, Amaranth is a girl who posts her boobs, and her whole business model is like, look at me, boob, I'm nothing. And I actually saw you say, well, if she doesn't have a problem with it, then you shouldn't have a problem with it. If you had seen her Vice documentary, she does have a problem with it, and she says she hates it. So, my point still stands.
Wait, I don't know what her point was.
Post her boobs, and her whole business them that align with different parts of different scenarios. But in this scenario, Amaranth is a girl who posts her boobs, and her whole business model is like, look at me, boob, I'm nothing. And I actually saw you say, well, if she doesn't have a problem with it, then you shouldn't have a problem with it. If you had seen her Vice documentary, she does have a problem with it, and she says she hates it. So, my point still stands. Ultimately.
What point was it? You haven't
Yeah,
said
what point?
a fucking point.
I think that she's a businesswoman. I think she's girl bossing it up. I think that's cool.
But if you no, wait, I don't know. Okay, I don't know her position, but she said she in the past was anti-sex work. If she's now telling me that you would have a problem with it because she doesn't like it, so she's feeling like she has to fucking put herself out there that way, and you're saying that's a bad thing, and you're saying that's not good, and that she doesn't even like it, which is a good reason not to like it either, then you can't say that you think it's a good thing that she's a businesswoman, that you're like proud of her, like girl bossing it up, if that's what she's doing that you think is hurting her. This is, ugh. Okay, maybe they'll bring that up. That's the thing that hits me the most. Is like there's a clear contradiction there in my mind.
That wasn't your take, was it?
Well, yes, it was. I said
No,
that she
it
was girl
wasn't.
bossing. You got mad at me for saying that she was a girl boss. Yeah.
That was not your take.
Yes, because I said capitalist scum, and then you were like, oh, she hates capitalists. Like, yeah, that was my take. But I was also like, yeah, I think that this is like a net negative for society. I don't think that women should sexualize themselves to the point where they're like nothing but a sexual object. Not fucking John Zerka, dude.
Ooh, get me out of here now. This is actually bad.
Just keep talking. Zerka, if you derail, I'm kicking you out.
Okay,
I'm gonna
good.
lose it.
Thank God.
But yeah, that's what I was ultimately saying. Is I think that women have an imperative to not completely sexualize themselves into oblivion, right? I
Okay,
think
this is your quote. This is your quote. I'm mad at Amaranth because her whole brand is being brainless. And do this.
yeah, that's what I said in like fewer words. It's more concise.
No, that
There's
is
no-
what you said.
Oh, that is not what you said. No. You said her whole business model is being brainless, and that it's bad. You can't then say that you said that you were proud that she was girl bossing, that you're happy about that, because you didn't say that at all.
Yeah, that's like what I
You're
also
talking about
just
something
said
about
in
you,
fewer words.
her being a girl boss, businesswoman. You didn't complain about that. You said
No,
that
I'm
she
sure
was
that there are
objectifying
notes. No,
herself.
there are
You said
notes down
she
there.
was objectifying
Show us your
herself
notes,
at
Cherry.
the expense
Show us your
of
notes,
women.
Cherry. Yes.
She was objectifying herself at the expense of women. You
Yes.
find her to be a harm to women.
Yes.
No.
Okay, why did you not say this? Why do you choose, when we talk about it, to only mention that, oh, I said she's a businesswoman and a girl boss?
Well, I didn't just say that. I also just said that you shouldn't objectify yourself. I'm confused. Did you
Wait, hold on. Let's actually go back. What did she say? Did she bring that up? I don't think she did.
fucking John Zerka, dude? Still stands with it. If you had seen her Vice documentary, she does have a problem with it, and she says she hates it.
Okay.
So, my point still stands.
What was that
Ultimately.
point?
What
But-
point was it? You haven't said a fucking point.
I think that she's a businesswoman. I think
Okay, so we got the business
she's girl
woman.
bossing it up. I think that's cool.
That wasn't your take, was it?
Okay, Cherry stops her, so maybe she was going to go in and say that.
Well, yes, it was. I said
No,
that she
it
was girl
wasn't.
bossing. You got mad at me for saying that she was a girl boss. Yeah.
That was not your take.
Yes, because I said capitalist scum, and then you were like, oh, she hates capitalists. Like, yeah, that was my take. But I was also like, yeah, I think that this is like a net negative for society. I don't think that women
Okay,
should
there it is.
sexualize themselves to the point where they're like nothing but a sexual object. Not fucking
Okay,
John
so she did
Zerka,
say it.
dude.
So she did say it.
I'm going
She
Just
said
keep
it
talking.
there.
Zerka, if you derail, I'm
to
kicking you
lose
out.
it. I'm gonna lose it. But yeah, that's what I was ultimately saying. Is I think that women have an imperative to not completely sexualize themselves into oblivion, right? I
Okay,
think
this is your quote. This is your
To be fair, she did open up with the girl boss thing. To be a little bit fair to Cherry.
quote. I'm mad
But she did specify afterward that it is a net negative for society.
at Amaranth because her whole brand is being brainless. And do this.
Yeah, that's what I said in like fewer words. It's more concise.
No, that is what you said.
Yeah, that's like what I
You're
also
talking about
just
something
said
about
in
you,
fewer words.
her being a girl boss,
Yeah, she didn't mention anything about the girl boss
businesswoman.
there.
You didn't complain about that. You said
No,
that
I'm
she
sure
was
that there are notes.
objectifying
No, there
herself.
are
You
notes
said
down
she
there.
was objectifying
Show us your
herself
notes,
at
Cherry.
the expense
Show us your
of
notes,
women.
Cherry. Yes.
She was objectifying herself at the expense of women. You
Yes.
find her to be a harm to women.
Yes.
Okay, why did you not say this? Why do you choose, when we talk about it, to only mention that, oh, I said she's a businesswoman and a girl boss?
Well, I didn't just say that. I also just said that you shouldn't objectify yourself. I'm confused. Were you not part?
I know
Were you
you're
just
confused.
not here
I'm
for most
so
of that
fucking not
conversation?
interested. I'm so fucking not interested in you.
It's easy to
trying
not be
say
interested when I
anything.
dunk on you, Cherry. It's easy to be
Oh,
not
this
interested.
is
Is it
cringe.
going?
That's cringe.
Is that your what else is your criticism? Yeah, I think that Amaranth thing is like
I was
still
just-
objectively
listen,
true.
I'm gonna have so many criticisms. I was so curious. You said that you don't take anything back, you stick to everything, and I wanted to see what you would say about Amaranth. And I think we just boing this whole fucking topic.
Boing.
You went back and forth. I love that.
No,
for you.
I literally said like almost exactly what I did, but with like a little more information now because I've watched a Vice documentary. So I've doubled down and also added some, which I think is what people do when offered new information, unless you're retarded, right?
Right. Like,
Okay, wait, let's real quick. Okay, can you at least say it in a few words? Lav, what is your problem with Cherry?
I think Cherry is really well. Now it's personal, right? I didn't have a problem with Cherry before. In fact, I thought.
Okay,
that-
hold on.
Question.
Let's
Answer the
yeah, let's circle around again. Okay, what is your problem with Cherry? Yes.
Cherry, I think that you're stupid. I think that you're uncharitable. I think that you are a hypocrite. You exhibit all the same things that you get mad at me for, and I am really
Right, that's the same.
You exhibit all the same things you get mad at me for. Okay.
Okay,
Oh.
that's good. Okay, that's good. Okay, so you just personally you don't like her. Okay, now.
Well, no, it's not that I. Yeah.
Yes, it is. Don't
Yeah. Oh, she did the thing. Okay.
say no. Yes, it is. You don't
I
like her.
could like her though, so I don't want to.
Oh my God! Shut up. That's not the point.
I don't want to condemn.
Okay.
I don't want to condemn.
She did like me before I started criticizing her content.
Gotcha.
No,
Okay,
I,
Cherry.
No, the criticism wasn't it.
Cherry, what is your problem with Lav? Okay.
I think a lot of her thoughts are not, they're not fleshed out, and I can't tell if it's because she hasn't thought them through, or if she's just trying to appease an audience when she's in that room, or if she's just so easily like persuaded by other people as soon as they make a point that she feels like
I think it's all
can't-
three.
We'll let her finish.
it might be all three. I haven't decided,
John.
and so I'm going through her content. I think a lot of the times that she's pretty rude and disrespectful to people who disagree with her, and I do think that a lot of people criticizing her just get told that they're being misogynist or sexist, and I
Gotcha.
feel like it can be super gaslighty.
Okay, are you
so,
interested
yeah.
in presenting evidence for any of these particular things right now that you would want Lav to answer to or for?
Right now, I was not prepared. No.
Okay, what did you come into here to talk to Lav about when you came on? Right now.
Because right now because she came in and said shit. So I wanted to come in and be able to address
You
it. 'cause
have notes right in front of you. You have your notes right in front of you. You just read from.
Okay,
Let's
did
divvy
you-
up something, babe. Divvy up something for me.
I feel like I just did with the Amaranth. Okay. Do you want to do that
I
again?
mogged you, Cherry. Another
Oh
one,
my
please.
God.
Are you sure that's what you?
This is what I mean. I hate. It's like a little bit of smugness too. I mean, I guess they're. I don't know. I don't know this world. I don't know. Maybe that's just how it is. But I hate it. I just hate that feeling. Like, just have a normal conversation, please.
You done?
Yeah, another one, please.
Another one. Line them up.
Listen,
wait.
I'm at August 8th of her content. I have about like 10 pages of like dialogue between her and other
You
people.
you also had a problem with the way that I talked to. Here, I'll give this one to you. I'll
Go
pass you
ahead.
the ball.
Okay.
Give
the
it
one
to
with
me.
Genevieve. You talked about the way that I spoke to Genevieve. And you had a problem. You thought that I was like a gatekeeper. That I was like the only person who could do sex work.
No,
What?
I definitely didn't say that.
Okay,
I
so
said
what was
you told people that you want to gatekeep sex work, that you think
Yes.
it's a good thing. That's why you don't want people speaking positively of it. And I definitely made the joke that I think you should gatekeep yourself out of it.
Okay. I haven't flip flop on that at all. I still feel all the same ways that I did.
So, do you feel like you own your body if photos of your naked body are on the internet?
Wait, what?
No,
Where are we
but I
going?
don't necessarily think that
So
that's
then
a
why did
super
you go back to posting nude photos on Patreon?
Because I've spent 6 years building this callus so that I could do it.
Building
so
the
I can
callus, but
handle
didn't
it.
you just break down about it 2 months ago?
Yeah, sometimes we have little things.
So maybe you didn't build a callus.
Well, sometimes the callus gets rubbed off and
So maybe you pretend to build a callus so you can go back to posting nudes?
First of all, I was making $14,000 a month and lost all of it, so that would be the worst business model I think I would have ever come up with.
What are you talking? What does that have to do with
$1,000 to gain
anything?
a husband who makes over $500,000 in a year.
Cherry.
Wait, so you bringing up my fiance's income has
What is
one,
happening right now?
Very little to do with my own income. 2, nothing to do with the conversation at hand.
Your own income. I mean, you're married. I don't know if she's married. Fiance? Maybe it's his fiance. That once you become like once you're together like that, that is part of like your income. Like you are getting some of that money.
I think it does. You're implying that you made a financial loss for your
You're also implying
For
that
your
I made
antics,
that I
and
made
you
a
haven't.
relationship gain. I've been with my fiance for years. He's never cared about my sex work.
And is he Jewish too?
Stop.
Zerga.
He's Catholic,
Baby.
but he's more retarded than me. So that's his excuse.
How's
Okay,
more
so
retarded?
so your new
He's
thing.
Catholic.
your new thing with Patreon.
So cringe.
How is it different from what Genevieve was advocating for her healthy engagement in sex work?
So I don't take requests. I post whatever I want to post. I'm free to post.
I mean, for now, right? Because who knows what you're going to do in 2 months.
Fair enough.
Cherry, if she can't answer the question, then why ask?
Wait, what do you mean? Because well, that's
well,
the
she's
point.
not-
Cherry's trying to illustrate that there are questions that she can't answer. That's part of Cherry's line of
Well,
questioning.
no, but
Well, I know,
no,
but
no,
it's saying,
she has to
but
let me
Cherry,
try.
Max, don't ever
Cherry-
talk to me about cutting a bitch off.
Oh
Max.
my
Not
God.
from you.
The
Cringe.
problem's not that you cut her off. It's that you said, even if you say you're not doing this thing now, you might do it later, so you might as well be doing it now. So if you're just gonna make,
That's
if you're
weird,
just gonna
yes.
make up whatever she's doing, then why even ask her?
I'm not making it up, but as she answers and as she's inconsistent, I also want to point out the inconsistencies
But it's not-
that
it's
she
not-
had in
that's
the
not-
past.
that's not
but that all of her
inconsistent. That's not inconsistency. The fact that she's not doing it right now, just she's saying she's doing what she's doing now. Don't say it's not inconsistent to say that she's going to do it later. She might, but I mean that's not what she's doing right now. You can't know that.
answers will never fucking matter.
Wait, hold on, Max.
She's
Doesn't this
willing
wouldn't this
to-
totally
answers
invalidate?
never matter.
Wait,
The answers
didn't
never
you?
matter.
Wait,
I'm
wait,
still
wait, chill,
demonstrating
hold on,
it,
wait.
though.
Max, didn't you do this exact same thing to her when you accused her of like using everything as an
Yeah, he
advertisement
did.
to start a Patreon again?
He's going. That was 2
No.
months
That's
ago.
true.
That was
Wait,
2
really?
months
I
ago.
feel like you did that exactly to her.
No, I can illustrate for you why it's different if you'd like.
Yeah, what's the difference?
This is Max monologue time. Fuck off, Max.
That's a little.
No, I'm just kidding. Go off. I haven't heard you in a
Why
while.
don't you let
Okay.
the man speak?
So in one situation,
Max, are you wearing rollerblades?
am I what?
Are you wearing rollerblades right now?
No, why?
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
I don't understand. Is that a joke?
It was a bad one. Go ahead.
Okay.
I don't get that.
In one situation, she's asking Lav, how is what you do different from what Genevieve does? And Lav says, Genevieve takes requests and I don't. That is objectively a true statement. Then she replies, well, later down the line, you might. So it just invalidates the entire conversation where you no longer can say what I do or what she does or compare any two things because Cherry's allowed to just make something up and say that this is a
True.
new comparison.
Yeah, bullshit.
Well, the comparison.
Stop.
Hold on.
Let me
Incorrect.
finish explain. Let me finish explain. This is
It's
one
not that
instance.
I can make something
shut
up, it's the fact that
Cherry,
Lav
I don't
will
want- I
never
don't
hold
want-
to what she
stop
fucking says.
talking. Stop talking. Please stop
Tell me
talking.
to
Let
shut up.
finish.
Wait, okay, chill,
shut the
don't
fuck up.
scream.
Let me finish.
Okay, so it sounds like Cherry's more saying by the fact like you could do this thing and you've already shown that you flip flop. So you're saying that you don't do this now, but I mean, what are the chances that you just don't do it? You said before you're not gonna do sex work again, but now you're doing sex work again. So I guess that's where she's trying to attack. Like she's already shown that she flops, so maybe she'll flop on this.
Chill,
Let me
my
finish.
children, go ahead.
So that's one instance. That's why I'm saying why ask if you're going to make up her answer for her.
Yep.
What I did with Lav was I said.
Okay, wait,
I
real
don't
quick, just on the
I-
Cherry thing, just so we understand what was going on there, right? I think what Cherry was pointing out was that, like, Lav used to be hypercritical of behaviors like A, B, and C, and she was hardcore
Yeah.
attacking somebody like Genevieve over behaviors A, B, and C. And
now she's doing
Lav is saying,
something.
well, I'm
Yeah.
going to do behavior A. And
No.
Cherry is like, well, wait, weren't you really critical of A, B, and C? He's like, well, yeah, now I'm only critical of
No.
B and C. And
That-
now what
that's
Cherry...
totally-
let me
wait,
fin-
that's
That's
stop. That's a
absolutely it.
totally fine response.
sure,
If she-
I'm just saying that's the point of her line of questioning, that's what she said.
That's not. But that's not true, Stephen. That's not what happened. She
It
didn't
is
say that.
absolutely
No,
what
stop.
happened. I don't
Let
have
me-
to.
okay.
I don't have to
I
fucking
don't
spell it
want
out
to-
for my reaction
okay.
to paint that picture.
I want to finish explaining.
I am
how
more
this
effective than you, Max,
I
at talking to
don't
people.
care. I don't care.
Oh my
If
God.
A, B, and C, let's say C is taking requests, right? And she's saying, well, I don't do C. And Stephen, you're saying she could have said, well, you do A and B, but she didn't say that. She actually, what she said was, in the future, you might do C, so we might as well act like you're doing it now.
Well, the
That
problem
doesn't make
isn't
any
what
sense.
she's acting like she's doing. The problem is her, and this is what I said to her earlier. The problem is Lav's hardcore criticism of people doing all those other things. And now
That's
she's decided
fine,
one.
but
Okay, sure,
the fact remains that Cherry's response was, down the
Wait,
line,
did
you
this
may
give me a noose? Did I get a noose? Did it just kill me? Works anywhere. Use escape from a sealed room. Oh, interesting. I'm not gonna use that. I don't know. I guess it just takes me out of a sealed room.
change your mind and do that again, so I can
also-
criticize you for it as though you're doing it now, which
Okay.
doesn't make any sense. What I was saying to Lav wasn't, I think that later down the line you're going to do sex work, so therefore you're doing sex work now. I was saying, I think you're lying. I don't believe you. You're saying you're retiring from sex work, but I believe that in 6 months you are going to be doing sex work, and that all of this, whether you know it or not, is functionally going to be a big ad for your sex work
How is that
career.
not
And
essentially the
and-
same thing that Cherry's saying, though?
Because
Cherry's saying, I
making-
think you're lying right now. You're saying this video now, but in the future, you're probably going to take requests on Patreon again.
That's not Cherry's argument. Cherry, just please pay attention.
Holy
Very
shit.
closely.
Okay, that almost
You
sounded
don't
exactly like what our
understand
argument was.
me. Your
I know,
empathy
it almost
is
sounded exactly the
dumb.
same, but please,
You don't
please
have it.
understand. Please understand the difference.
Please don't speak for me, Max.
Please, I'm not speaking for you. Please understand the difference between saying, like if I said, I think you're unhealthy because you smoke cigarettes, and then you say, well, I don't, and I say, well, you maybe in the future you will, so that's the same thing. That's
No,
different
not the
from
same.
That's
It's the
different.
same
That's
if she
different. That's
smoked
different.
cigarettes and then
That's-
she quit smoking, and I'm like, well,
that's
you're probably going to pick it up again.
That's different. Saying you smoke cigarettes now, effectively, because I think you're
Okay,
going to
I
smoke them
love
later,
this meta conversation.
is different from telling somebody, I think you are going to relapse.
That was also the first thing I
No,
said, and it was
no,
the
the
least
end.
significant, and it was the least
I
significant
just
thing.
don't believe that you
No,
guys
Max.
don't understand the difference
Max, the
between
end.
those two
No,
things.
you are just being
Cherry,
fucking
Cherry,
stupid, okay? The
Cherry.
end is exactly it, is the relapsing. The fact that she's done this, she has the history of doing this, and that her
That's-
criticism,
okay,
she
that's
backed off her
fine.
own criticism
But
to
if she's
re-enter
going to
sex work.
If she's going to relapse,
I get
then
to
you're-
point that out.
That you do, Cherry, but your argument cannot be
Cherry's like saying what I said, and also trying to kick in what Destiny said, but she didn't reemphasize that. Because I think Destiny's point was specifically, it's like, you criticized Genevieve, who is, I don't know who that is. You were criticizing Genevieve pretty heavily, and now, and now you're doing some of the things that she did. But I guess you could argue that there were specific things that she did not like that Genevieve did. But I think when she had probably attacked her, she probably attacked her as a whole. Probably didn't say, you do ABC, and ABC equals D. She's probably saying, you do D, so therefore it's bad. And now she's doing D, but D can also be just AB plus E, and that also is D. So, stuff like that. Or
What
that's
is
like a subset
different
of D.
between what you do
And
and
your
what Genevieve
analogy,
does?
your analogy can't be that she was a non-smoker, and I'm threatening that she, or
Okay.
pointing out that she might become a
That's not the
smoker.
important
That's
part.
not
There's a
analogous.
different- That's not the important part. The important part is there is a difference between saying.
No, the history is the important fucking part, Max.
It's not, Cherry, because what you said out loud was there's
No, your
functionally no
misinterpretation
difference.
of it, the fact
You
that I'm
said-
being
you
short
said
and witty
what-
with it, just fuck all the way off.
you
I'm
said-
sorry I didn't do
God.
it in a meta fucking way for you,
It's
okay?
not that you
But
didn't
no,
do it in
I'm
a
never
meta way.
going
It's that
to.
logically what you're saying doesn't make sense, and Steven's making a
logically makes
comparison that
fucking
makes no
sense.
sense.
Hey,
It
mom,
doesn't make any
dad,
sense.
I hate when you guys fight. Please let
Okay,
me
it
finish.
doesn't,
don't
it doesn't make
fucking
any
mom
sense
me.
to say
Yeah, like
that they
cringe.
do the same thing. They don't do the same thing. You could say, I think you're
Oh,
going to
fucking
do the same
fine.
thing as Genevieve, and that makes you a hypocrite. But you can't say, I think you currently do the same thing, and then when she says, well, actually, I don't. Taking requests
You
is a
can
pretty big
re-explain
difference.
what the fuck you said. I'm gonna
Sherry,
dismiss it in the
Sherry.
same way. Don't
Okay.
care.
Sherry, just take it down a notch. You're also invalidating.
And Steven, I don't believe that you don't see the difference between those two
Okay,
things.
it's
I mean,
okay.
their argument there was a difference. I just don't think they're
Please,
relevant.
please. This is so
don't know why
okay,
they're not
anyway,
relevant. I was-
what I was saying, I was going down the list. That was the least significant one. I don't take requests. I will never say that sex work is empowering me. I will never tell 18-year-olds that it is a viable option to go into sex work. I don't think that people should go into sex work.
I'm
So
gonna look
that's-
back and see that you don't say sex work is empowering now. I just
Fuck
want to make sure.
me.
I want to make sure.
Not
Say it. Just say it. It's not empowering to you.
I think
You're not
I feel.
powerful when
I
you're
think I
naked.
feel. I think I feel powerful.
No,
Okay,
Laz, don't say
you've
that.
already backed up. Can you own
Cherry,
anything?
Cherry, shut the up, you retard.
Oh my
Listen to
God.
me. Listen
I
to
don't-
me.
don't
How
get
hard
retarded,
is this
don't
to
care.
understand? Your brain is smooth. Listen to me.
All I have to
can
do is
feel-
ask, are you sure? And you back
Shut
up
the
off.
fuck up,
That's it.
Cherry.
That's all it takes.
Cherry,
All right.
you
Do
can
you
feel
see why I
powerful.
don't want to talk to you? What
Cherry,
the f is the point?
You can't. You can't
Oh,
talk to me
we're
because you're
fine,
fucking
nice.
retarded. You don't understand
Oh.
what I'm saying. Okay.
You,
Jesus.
you
You can
actually
feel
do make me feel
powerful. I
retarded.
powerful. Yeah, that
You
makes
do
sense.
make
It
me
makes
feel
sense that
retarded.
Being around a smart person makes you fucking feel retarded. So I
You
can
are
feel
smart. You
I can
are.
Feel, I can feel powerful when people are seeing me nude, and I'm like, oh yeah, people are paying to see me naked. I feel very powerful.
Okay, so you acknowledge that you feel empowered.
Okay, maybe Lava's gonna say this. I think I know where she's going. I think she's going down the route of, I could have in my mind that I feel like a king. I feel the kingly power. But that's all in my head. I'm not actually a king. No one treats me like I'm a fucking peasant on the ground. Just because I feel something doesn't mean that I am that. So I could feel powerful, but not be empowered. That's possible. I think there are some things where I don't know how you would feel it. I don't know if it would matter. Because the whole point of being empowered is the feeling of being powerful. Maybe. But if you can feel empowered but not have any of the benefits, so that's the route you would go. You might be able to feel the empowerment or feel empowered, but you're not actually truly empowered because you're not gaining any of those benefits. But then you have to say, like, these are the things you're losing in the long term. In that moment, you're feeling strong, but maybe over a long period of time, you're not going to have all those benefits of actually being empowered. Something along those.
Power.
No, empowerment, women's liberation and empowerment has nothing to do with personal power. I feel personal power when I'm taking men's money. I do not feel empowered. It does not empower women to be naked online. Yes?
Why don't you
If women do things that give them, like, benefits, that let them do what they want to do, and they will feel like some form of power from that, I don't know how that's not empowerment. It gives them the ability, if we open up for them to do things that they want to do, and then they gain benefit from doing those things, and are able to take care of themselves and, like, do, like, pretty much just do what they want to do, I don't know how that's not empowerment. That is empowerment, isn't it?
just say it's a
I'm not gonna-
double-edged sword?
Exactly. That's true. It is a double-edged sword, but also I'm talking
Oh,
about
God.
on a small scale and on a big scale. I can feel empower my body, and I got mad at Genevieve for this because she was like, "What's the difference?" There is a big difference between feeling powerful.
Wait, do you feel more powerful before they ejaculate or after? I just
Oh my
wanna know what the
god,
power
get him out of here.
After.
Dude,
After I got.
are you not able to participate in this conversation?
I'm trying my best. Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, well,
I'm not caught up. I'm not caught up with the lore. I'm listening.
We're not the most mature group of people to begin with, but damn.
Yeah, don't you watch Cuties?
Oh my.
I have
Immediately
watched.
buy. Immediately
I
buy.
Why?
Why?
used to watch Cuties.
Why does this always happen? Why is every time Max is on his fucking show with Destiny, someone says, "Aren't you the guy that likes cuties?" Oh, I hate it.
Yeah, what happened? Did you run out of filler episodes?
It's a movie, not a TV show. So there's only
Okay.
yeah, it
You
gets
wish-
kind of
you wish,
repetitive.
You wish it was One Piece. You wish it was.
Well,
So anyway,
you know when you look at old porn from like
No, I
20
don't.
years ago and you
I don't
think
watch-
like, you don't watch porn?
No, I don't.
Okay, sometimes this weird thing happens. You're looking at porn from like 20 years ago, and like the girl's like 19 or 22 or something. But in the back of your mind, you're like, wow, this woman's like 40 now. And something about just the knowledge of that turns you off. And I think it's been 2 years since Cuties came out. And when I'm watching it, I'm thinking these 11-year-olds are now 13, and it's just so disgustingly old to me. I just lose all interest.
You're bored of it.
Yeah.
Why'd you say 40? Why are you adding zeros, bro?
What?
I hate everything. I hate.
Can I get off topic? Lav, do you identify as a witch?
Sorry.
Wait, what?
All right. Listen, guys. I
No,
gotta
Max,
go.
I'm asking. Oh, you're leaving. Sorry.
Okay, I told.
Hey,
Sorry,
hey,
Max. We will talk tomorrow or sometime soon. Okay, I promise.
Yeah,
you
I want to
leaving?
talk to Steven about our relationship.
Ooh, okay. I
feel
guess we're
things
gonna
are
watch that
tense.
later.
Yeah, we'll talk. I don't think
No,
anything's
You can
done.
see we're bickering, and I want to clear the
Max,
air.
just stay. Max, just stay. I'm totally.
Well, I think he has stuff he has to
breaking
do.
No, I have to go. I'm a personal trainer, and I have to train my
gotta do.
client. But
Okay.
also,
your ball. We'll see you on the playground.
I also, Steven, I have to warn you.
Uh-oh.
I'm fed up with your subreddit.
Holy shit.
And,
Oh, this is kind of
this
where it
isn't all your
starts.
fault, just partly. But I'm drafting a declaration of war.
Oh my God,
on,
this is where
our
it starts.
destiny.
Okay.
Okay.
Join.
So, yeah, I'm gonna have to declare war on your subreddit. I think forethought is probably my biggest problem. But of course, he answers to you. So, you know, I see that as a separate relationship from our relationship to you. I feel like we can be generals who respect each other and are friends and love each other, and yet are also at war.
Okay. I don't care so much on that war with you. But okay.
Well, I'm going to declare war on your subreddit.
Okay.
I have to get that remote.
Now, my subreddit is a very small. I probably won't feel like you're at war.
Hold on, Max. Are you banned?
Yes.
You're banned off YouTube right now?
Yeah.
Why? What did you do?
Oh my
I was
God, I
banned for a
hate.
video that I posted 2 years ago that I
Was it
got a
like
strike.
Eggford? You said the N-word?
No, it had nudity in it from clips from movies. My channel was this video was taken down. It was reinstated by YouTube and age restricted, and then they banned me for that same video 2
but
years
Max, Max, before you go, why have we not addressed the elephant in the room? Lavloon is jealous of Sherry because she has a crush on Steven. Nobody
Stop,
mentioned
please stop.
Don't
Can we
do
just
that.
go back to the other thing?
Yeah, please.
I think we
Max,
all have
it
a
was
crush
great
on
to see
Steven.
you. Max, it was great to see you. Am I allowed to call into Hotline? Or are you still?
No, you're 100% unbanned.
Nice.
You
I'm
can-
hosting Hotline this Saturday.
That's.
Co-hosting.
I actually don't remember asking, but that's super
Okay.
sick.
Guys.
Oh, I hate these people. I hate
Miss
these
you,
people so
Steven,
much.
if I don't talk to you for a week, have a good trip or whatever you're doing.
Okay.
I love you and take care of yourself.
Okay, I love you all. Okay, you're okay.
We're about
Max
to
is
start
leaving.
war,
Lav
though.
and Cherry are re-engaging in a healthy.
Can we go back? Do you identify as a witch?
Yeah,
And you're part of a coven.
I am. Yeah.
Yeah, we're just doing character assassination now?
Do you think that it's reasonable for me to not want to engage with you for that?
That's okay. That sounds like she's
yeah,
reaching.
it's reasonable for you to not want to engage with me for any reason. It's your body.
Okay, because the first night we talked, I told you what I was doing, and you asked me if I believe in astrology, and then
Yeah.
that's why I timed you out the first day because I thought that you were just going to be.
I don't.
That
I don't think that I'm like that into it.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
It's like fun. My coven is mostly like a group of women who I really love, and we like come together and like meditate with each other, which I think is really cool. But
That's
I'm
cool as hell.
not like I don't know like I'm not like casting spells and hexes.
Do you know the subreddit, which is versus patriarchy? So
No.
I frequent that a bit. Okay.
What is the patriarchy? I forget.
Oh, John, shut up.
Johnny, get out of here. Go to bed, Grandpa. Take your meds.
Wait, I want to know
Oh,
why she called you a bitch. Like, why are you a cunt? I don't get it.
Me, I'm mean. I'm blunt in a way that doesn't.
I'm
She's blunt and
It's
wrong.
not very. It's
She's
not
aggressive and
it's just
wrong.
not kind. A lot of
Which
people
makes her a
receive me as a bitch. It's fine. I think it's fair. You can call me bitch. You can call me mean. I think it comes off that way for sure.
Okay. Bye, Zarka. I love you, Zarka. Bye. Be careful. Okay.
Oh,
go.
thank God. Thank God he's gone.
Oh, Jesus.
But anyway,
Lord.
that list of things I said, that is why I got on Genevieve, and I'm not doing those things that I got mad at Genevieve for. And I'm also
And-
acknowledging my place in that I'm like adding to like an oppressive structure, but also like my hands are tied because I like to make money. Even though you brought up my fiance.
I hate. No, that's not true. Your hands are not tied. If you have you are. Okay, I don't know her actual financial situation. I don't truly know her financial situation. I would like to believe that where she is right now is definitely not where like a good 80% of America is right now. She's probably at least doing better than most people in the country. There's no way that you can tell me that your hands are tied and that you're forced to do this kind of work. You're not forced to do this kind of work.
Say whose money is not my money. And yeah.
Does he keep the bank accounts from you? Has he told you he's going to support you when you stop sex work?
No, I mean I'd like to.
Yeah, you like
we have
to.
A very
So you're not forced.
dual partnership relationship dynamic. So I don't feel comfortable right now in the relationship not contributing. I like to buy things. I like to collect things. I'm like a big things person, and I don't want to spend all of his money on like my
I'm a
thing.
big things person.
Like I like to cosplay a lot. I like to get costumes, and I don't think that he should be forced to pay for them.
He's
So
not.
you have hobbies, and you would like a disposable income to be able to do those things without going into his wallet.
And you have to do
That's
sex
fine.
work for that. And you have to do sex
Genevieve
work.
thing. Do you think it's fair
What do you mean? No, ain't nobody hack her for that. That's fucking crazy.
that she was making arguments, trying to get you to empathize or understand or not victimize her as a sex worker? You were
She's a
pretty firm
victim.
against it. You were pretty firm against it. Told her that she was immature and that she's a victim and she
I wonder if she's gonna be like, you need everyone in the sex industry to be a victim so that you can be a victim, right? That's why you do it.
doesn't know it, and then you later on move on at least one or two of the things that she was advocating for that you told her would never be okay. And in
Like
your
what?
Yeah, like what? Give me one.
What would never be okay?
posting nude photos of yourself for money.
Yeah, like it would never be empowering. It's not that it would never be okay. Like I don't
No,
think
you
that she
said
should
that
go to jail.
you said getting money for it is objectifying and
It is.
telling and giving men and teaching men that they can do this.
Yeah, so I have not moved. I'm just black pilled on it, and I still think that that's true. I think that there are ways that you can do that like less so, right? Like I think that if you're sublimating yourself in like a hardcore porn scene where someone's like abusing you, that's a lot more oppressive than just posting a topless nude.
I just wanted to get to my point that there were things that she said that that she wanted to argue were fine. You said no, it's never okay. You've moved on them since. Now
No,
you've
I
found
know. I just
justification
told
for
you I
doing
have
them.
not moved.
No, you've
No,
found
I'm not-
justification to.
This is rough for Cherry, only because you do need very specifics. Because she's saying that she still has issues with those things. Cherry's trying to make it sound like she said, this is always bad. Which, when someone says something is always bad, they're trying to insinuate that you shouldn't do it. But now she's saying, maybe you still shouldn't do it, but I'm still going to do it, which is iffy. It comes down to like, she could still say it's always bad. So that isn't a hypocritical thing. You can say, hey, it's always sucks to do this. But sadly, we live in a world where we kind of have to do it. I would argue that she does not live in that world, that you don't have to do it. You have other options, but you are choosing to do the thing that you say yourself is always bad. And that in itself is bad. If you want to admit that you are actively choosing to do the thing that you say is bad, and you know you can do other things that aren't bad, well then sure, you can admit that, but I don't know, that makes you look bad.
I'm not.
them.
No, I'm not
So-
justifying what I'm doing. If you've heard me talk about it, I say that I know that I am partaking in it now. But
The but is the justification.
No. I'm not. No, there's no excuse. I think that I am contributing to my oppression.
But
Yeah, why were you saying but?
But it pays
you
bills.
want money for your hobbies.
Yeah.
So there is you are justifying what you're doing. You're saying it's bad, but you're doing it for a reason that is okay. Well, you're not. You're saying you're doing it for this reason. Okay, she's not technically saying that. She could. When people do say but, it is a lot of times they're trying to give like an excuse. It's like, I'm doing this, but I'm doing this because of this. You could say, it's always oppressive and I'm doing it because of this. It's still not good.
Okay, so
That's
problem
not
that-
me
the
moving.
problem
point
that I
still
see-
stands.
okay, I don't want to do this anymore.
Oh
Yeah, it
my
makes sense that you
God.
don't want to do it anymore because nothing of what you're saying is valid or
Because you
makes
don't
sense.
own up to anything that you're saying or doing. It's
Girl,
so
how am
annoying.
No, the problem is that I did own up to it, and you're like, oh fuck, what do I do now? I just acknowledged that I'm engaging in a power structure that is oppressive to me, and you're like, oh fuck, what do I do? Like I just bit the bullet.
No,
and you're
you
like,
don't.
oh. Yes, I just
You're
did.
saying okay. No, everything that you're saying is
How would you-
contradictory.
How would you want her? When you say own up, how would you want her to?
Well,
own
this
up?
is hold on. If Cherry wants to do this argument, Cherry, what you need to do is you need to have like 2 or 3 clips. Where you're like, this is clearly
Yes.
what
I
I'm
know
saying.
I
and it's
do.
clear-
Yeah,
that's why I asked if there was
I
going
know
to
I
be
do,
very specific.
and I
and
haven't
whatever.
edited that video yet. And yeah, so
That's
but
what
I
you're
can
working
use this towards it too. This is the current version of her. So thank you for my new clips.
Oh, cringe. Okay, now you're just being cringe.
Okay.
I don't know what owning up to means. Like what Stardust was saying.
You,
like,
you 100% don't know what owning it up to it means. That's your existence.
yeah, what
on
is
the
that?
platform
No,
so
what
far.
does that look like to you? Because to
I think
me,
the issue that she has is that when you say something like, whenever you do this action, it's like participating in some kind of oppression. And then you say, but I'm doing this action. But then you say, well, it's okay.
She didn't say
When
it's
you say
okay.
something is okay.
It's not okay.
Wait,
She didn't
stop.
say it.
When you say it is okay, because you're doing it, but you say it's okay that you're doing it, right?
That's what you can draw. I don't know if Destiny would accept that. I can accept that someone knows that they're doing something bad and it is wrong. And they'd be like, hey, it's bad. And I know I'm being a bad person right now. I'm being a bad person. You can say that and you can admit that. It's like, I choose to do a bad thing. People do bad things. And you can argue that there's a justification in their head. Like whenever someone does something, they could technically be justified in their head. But I think at the same time, I think it is possible for someone to look and be like, this is wrong. And I know it's wrong, but I don't care that it's wrong. I'm going to do it anyways. So that can still exist.
No, I just said I think I'm engaging in something that oppresses me ultimately.
Wait, then
But
why are you
it's
doing
worth
it?
Then you
But
should
it's
support me
worth it.
Wait, but
criticizing you.
Okay, now, but now she is justifying it, saying that it outweighs. So therefore, it's worth it because the thing that I get from it outweighs the negative. So therefore, it is better than the opposite. So it is better than current. Well, both can be bad. I guess you could argue that both are bad, and this is just slightly less bad.
It's worth
And
it.
it's
Then
worth it. It's worth it. I'm engaging in harm reduction for me, so I'm engaging in a different type of sex work so that I don't feel as much harm.
Wait, but
and
if
I'm
it's
getting
worth
as much
it,
benefit.
Yeah, no, this is what it, no. Oh, no.
I'm adding benefits and reducing harm.
yeah, but
That's a good thing. Wait, then that's a good thing. Wait, then that is a good thing, isn't it?
that makes it okay then, right?
I guess okay. I don't know what okay means. I don't.
Is-
Like,
Oh, what do you mean you don't know what a K means? You were constantly saying that I didn't say it was okay. I was the exact opposite. Well, how do you know you weren't saying it wasn't okay if you don't even know what okay means? What are you talking about?
Drinking
feel-
alcohol, okay.
it depends.
Okay, now we're going down this out that some people it is okay for. But before you said there is a hard line saying that no one can do sex work and it is good. It is impossible for sex work to be good. That is what you said. Or okay.
Okay,
you're an alcoholic-
we're not talking about having an
How is
alcoholic.
this interesting for anyone?
Wait, no, I'm just asking. Is it okay to like drink alcohol? Like, let's say you have a drink once a week or whatever, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay,
It's fine.
So that's okay. That's okay. That's it. We don't have to say that like, well, it's not okay to ever drink, but we can engage in harm reduction by being mindful of our dosage and
No,
trying to,
it would be like if a recovering alcoholic was like, or someone who quit drinking was like, but I'm gonna drink once a week, and they're like, okay, well, I had a problem with this before. I'm pacing myself, and also I'm acknowledging that like alcohol is like really bad for me, so I have to pace myself, and also I'm going to reduce the harm while maximizing the benefits. That is exactly
But
what
the
I'm
difference is that drinking
wait,
the
can
alcohol.
you let-
Okay.
Can you let me-
No.
You came in.
No. No. Okay, I'm being sexist. But no. Why? Okay.
In your entrance here, throwing shots at any woman who said positive things about sex work, who justified doing sex work, who were putting nude pictures or their boobs on the internet saying that these women are the reason why you, at 18, got into sex work and did all of the harm that you've done to yourself that has
Madam
led you to
Genevieve,
where you
yes.
are. And now you're just, you don't even see where you are being a hypocrite.
Okay,
And
well,
Madam
you brought it
Genevieve
up to
is the
me
type of
because you have-
person, Madam Genevieve is giving you the argument to feel good about what you're doing. And even in your comeback video where you concede on a few of the things that she's fine with, you end up dragging her and saying, oh, Madam Genevieve has a really unhealthy engagement with sex work. On your entrance back into
she doesn't
opening a
she doesn't
Patreon.
realize, no, because
you are
she
just,
doesn't. I called her retarded because she doesn't acknowledge the bigger picture, which is that empowerment, that feeling powerful does not mean empowerment. Women's liberation does not happen from sexualizing yourself. What happens
At
now
what
is that
point-
my dream is dead. My
At what
women's lib
point-
dream is dead. That's
At what point-
that's what has changed. But I
Wait,
still
what?
stand in the same
at
fucking.
what,
Whoa,
at what
this is a
point do
cool
you
gun. I've never
realize,
seen this gun.
you know what, maybe I'm traumatized, maybe I don't really have a grasp on what I'm comfortable or
No,
not
that's not-
comfortable
no,
with,
no.
and am going
Why are
to
you
stop
telling me what
making
I'm
it
doing?
other
Why are-
women's responsibility. At what point do you do that?
You're doing that to me right now. I'm saying I'm fucking
Damn.
fine. I'm saying I'm fine. I've built up 6 years of a callus so I could deal with this. What I'm trying, John, what I'm trying to make happen is that 18-year-olds don't follow in my footsteps and have to harden themselves the way that I have. I've gone through immense trauma in the past 6 years. Ultimately, I've gotten to a point where I'm like, fuck it. My nudes are going to be online anyway. I'm going to do whatever I want to do, and I'm going to make money from it, and that's just my life, right? I'm trying to prevent that from happening to
So
other
in-
women. I don't
in
think
the
that
conversations,
cheapens.
people
I don't
explain
think
to you
that. I
how
don't think
the
that. I
nudes
don't
isn't
think. I do
serious.
not think. I do not think that cheapens what I'm saying at all. I'm saying it's okay for me. It wasn't always. It's okay for me now though because I've gotten to a point where I can handle it.
Unless I misheard, it's making it sound like it's okay. Once you do the thing, once you've done the thing, and you've already fucked yourself, then it's okay to do it. Then yeah, go for it. I guess, but you can still do more harm. Like if you truly believe that it's like causing harm for society, just because you stop doing it doesn't mean you can't cause more harm by doing it more. So you still have that problem.
don't think that everyone can handle it, and especially you can't handle it.
don't
When you're
think
Okay, wait,
18.
wait. Can I ask an important
You
question?
can't
I'm
even
just-
handle your own VODs staying up on.
Well, just a
So,
question.
no.
What's the difference then between
They're back
wait,
up,
real
Mitch.
quick. What's the difference between what you're
fuck
doing now
off.
versus what Madame Genevieve does?
So, like I said,
I don't take offers or requests.
first of all, I'm posting lewds where she's posting like more porn stuff, and she's having parasocial relationships with these people, which is like a little
Okay,
different.
wait, one thing at a time. When
Yeah.
you say
And
you're
also-
posting lewds, what does that mean? Because even on your Twitter, I think you post like
Well,
nudes, don't you? You have like
yeah,
your
well,
tits
Yeah,
or your
she's got her
nipples.
bloody
fuck.
tits pinned up at the top.
Yes.
Well, I don't want to go into. I don't want this to be an ad for my OnlyFans, but I'm posting
Too
things that
late.
are not. Okay, I'm posting things that are not like
Oh, fuck.
hardcore. Like I'm not posting pornography. I am posting nudes though, and I am
don't know how I'm supposed to roll through that.
potentially. I'm thinking about like directing some sort of, like how to like educational pornography.
Sure,
So
that's one
we'll
thing,
see
but
how
you're still
that
going to be
goes.
posting nudes, right?
Yes.
So you're posting nudes. So I don't know why you said lewds. So you and Madame Genevieve are similar in that you're both.
Yeah.
You're both
Because I'm
posting.
not.
Oh, this is what I mean. Oh, it fucking blows my mind. I hate it when people do this. It's like, oh, well, I'm not doing. I'm doing this thing. It's like, well, you're doing this though, right? It's like, well, yeah, I am doing that too. I was like, okay, well then, fuck. Why did you say the one thing? Why do you say if you're doing 3, and you said if you're definitely doing 3, and you're saying you're counting the 2, it's like, okay, but I don't care about 2. You're at 3 already. You're already at 3. Oh God.
Posting. Well, I'm not. I'm.
What did you get arrested for? Oh, I assaulted someone. What'd you do them? Oh, I killed them. It's like, okay, well, just tell me you fucking killed them. What are you talking about? Why are you telling me that you assaulted someone?
I'm not posting some things that are nudes.
I don't know what that means. You're not
I'm
posting
not
your pussy
making
or.
anything.
Yeah. What is the
Yeah,
fundamental difference between you and
Wait, yeah, that's what I'm asking. So.
Well,
yeah.
okay. So the fundamental difference is not in our content; it's the way that we go about talking about our content.
Wait, so then
That's the
no,
fundamental
hold on.
difference.
This is bad. This is bad. She has attacked Genevieve, at least in this conversation, about her messaging towards people about the empowerment of doing sex work, and that is a big key part that she took aim at. But she has also mentioned that she disagreed with what Genevieve does as like a sex worker.
Let's slow down. You don't believe that, okay? Your
No,
only.
I do believe that.
Your only problem with her has nothing to do with her content. It's the way that she talks about her content.
I think. Well, I've had problems with both because she was.
No, wait,
talking about-
don't hold on. One
She was-
thing at a
she was
time.
talking about
Stop one
BDSM.
thing at a fucking time. Stop
Yeah.
bringing 20 million things.
Answering you.
No, you're
I'm
not.
fucking. She had a problem with or she.
Oh my
I
God.
had a problem with her being like very pro BDSM. She said that she did BDSM stuff, and I'm very anti BDSM.
Okay, so then your problem now has nothing to do with sex work. You just have a problem with BDSM.
Well, no,
No,
it's sex
wait.
work. It's work in
Wait.
Oh my God. This is. Oh, I hate this. I hate it.
BDSM.
No, wait, hold on, Chase. Hold on. Wait, so you,
No, because we skipped over something.
I don't
Oh yeah. Okay.
care. We're skipping over everything. I
Thank God.
just want to go one line of questioning without
just
somebody
too much.
veering
Okay,
off.
go.
Okay, so then you don't have a
Thank
problem
God.
with any sex work. You have a problem with BDSM.
No, I have a problem with sex work because I think it's oppressive to women, but I don't have a problem with sex workers necessarily.
What? I don't know. I don't even know how to begin to explain that. Okay, I'm being over. I might be over exaggerating right now. I don't have a problem with sex work. I don't have a problem with sex workers. I have a problem with sex work. How do you? I don't know. I
Okay, if you have a problem with sex work, why would you make content
no! Don't just let her go. No.
showing women how to do sex work or how to?
No. I wouldn't show them how to do sex
What are you
work.
directing?
She said directing like safe sex and not sex work.
I'd be directing. I'd be like how to like make yourself orgasm, how to have like an effective orgasm, how to
That's not sex work.
give
Yeah,
like
okay.
a blowjob, how to give how to eat pussy, like stuff like that. It's like educational, not how to become a sex worker. I would never do something like that.
Okay, we're done with this line of questioning. Okay, I want to focus on the BDSM thing. Okay, so
Yeah, Jared just didn't fucking understand, or misheard.
what is your problem with her content? You mentioned BDSM. So is the problem just anything related to BDSM is bad, or what? I don't understand this.
I think it's intersectional. I think it's a couple things with Madame Genevieve. I don't think it's like one thing to pinpoint. So if you're looking for that one thing to pinpoint, like I don't have a good answer.
I'm not looking for the one thing. I'm just trying to find. I don't know why you don't like her content. That's what I'm trying to figure out. I don't understand.
Well, no, I don't like. No, my biggest problem with Madame Genevieve is that she was not acknowledging that there was a greater thing at play, which is that she is capitalizing off of her oppression. That's like what she would not recognize. That was my problem.
Okay,
with
so hold on.
Genevieve.
So
No,
you
she
don't have.
didn't
Wait.
feel oppressed.
So you don't have a
It
problem with.
doesn't matter if she doesn't feel oppressed.
So you don't
she
have.
is oppressed.
First of all, that's it kind of matters sometimes. But
Yeah.
So you're saying you don't have a
Not in
problem
sex
with you don't have a problem with any of the work she's doing, just her feelings about the work she's doing.
I have the same. Let's say this. I have the same amount of problem with that she's doing that I'm doing now.
Oh, so then you don't really have any problems with her?
Not with what she's doing. No. Not with no.
Oh
Okay.
my God, how did you say everything and nothing?
Yeah. Okay. So then we have no problems with Madame Genevieve now. You just don't like her.
No,
the way that she
have
talks,
a
or you don't have
problem
problems with her
that
content.
She talks about it. Yeah, no, I don't have a
Okay.
problem
But
with
so then
content.
what you just said about like BDSM, that was just not.
Okay, she definitely said earlier. She mentioned the BDSM thing. She definitely mentioned earlier about like the content that Genevieve does, and she's trying to draw a distinction between the content that she does and the content that she is doing. The fact that she mentioned the lewds thing was one of them. So the fact that she's not taking requests from people. So just ooh, this is the thing. This is the thing that she does, and I hate it. This is like a prime example, I think, of her saying in earlier in this fucking conversation, she's like, I'm distinguishing myself from the content that she does because that content is something that I don't like.
A thing, or?
No, I have a problem with that also, but I don't know how much of it. That was like another thing that we brought up that she also didn't understand was oppressive towards women. That was like I said, this intersects at like a bunch of different levels. Like there's no
Okay,
one thing.
hold on. I love you, Lav. I'm in love
No,
with you.
shut
okay?
up.
I'm telling you that.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I love you too.
But every time you say intersectional, what you really mean to say is, I don't want to justify whatever I'm saying, so I'm going to say intersectional so that it sounds more complicated than it
True,
actually
Steven.
is. I'm just saying, when you say it, that's what it feels like, okay? So, please.
Steven, you just said that, and then a second ago when I brought up more than one point, you were like, it's too much. So what's the truth? What do you want me to do?
Here's what I'm saying, okay? Let's say somebody says,
God.
murdering people is bad. And I go, you think murdering someone is bad? And they're like, well, if it's like a black person outside at night, it's bad. And I'm like, okay, wait. So is murdering somebody bad is it only bad when they're black? And you're like, well, it's intersectional. Well, hold on, you brought up like the black thing. And it's like, well, yeah, murdering black people is bad. So it's always bad to murder black people. Well, it's intersectional. Depends on if it happens at night or not. Okay, wait, hold on. This is what you're doing. Every time you say intersectional, you're not like, okay, so here's the problem. I don't know right now if you think BDSM is good or bad. I don't know if you think sex work in BDSM is good or bad. I don't know if you think your content is the same as Madame Genevieve's because of her opinions. I don't know if you think that Madame Genevieve is good or bad just because of her thoughts on her content. So if she thought something different, it would be okay, but because she thinks what she thinks, it's bad. I don't know if it's just I don't know the answer to any of these questions. All I know is that it's all intersectional.
Okay, then I'll answer them. I think that
Okay.
Madame Genevieve is probably a fine person. I think that she's.
No one is asking if she's a fine person. That's not the question.
You just said bad or good. You just
When I
said
said
she was
bad, when
or
I
good.
say bad, I'm saying that with respect to the sex work she does.
Did Cherry leave? She's fucking left.
That's what we're talking about.
Holy fucking shit, Steven. I'm making it so fucking clear.
It's
I'm
not
Whoa!
clear to anybody.
Absolutely
not clear.
not.
Anyone, I have a problem with the way that she engages in sex work.
Okay, let's just do that one thing. What is your problem with how the way that she engages with sex work?
The fact that she's going to say is, okay, this is, well, Destiny needs to, I understand questioning after I already know the answer. I understand this. She has to say, if she says something different, I'm going to blow my brains. I'm not actually going to do that. But if she does not say this, or in some manner this way, I'm going to lose it. Her problem with how Madame Genevieve presents in like this sex work, in this all this, is the fact that she says that you can be empowered by it, and she refuses to acknowledge that you are advocating or that you are actually promoting the hindrance. Oh, what's the word she used? Not persecution. You're pretty much hurting society. You're hurting women by doing this. You're helping them like be more like bound. I don't know. I forget the word.
I don't like the parasociality.
Okay,
I don't
when
like.
you
I
say-
don't like the fact.
She's bringing up something completely different now. Oh wait, no, she brought up parasocialism before, but that wasn't the key thing that she was hitting on before. Why would you say that right now? I'm going insane.
That she sublimates herself.
Okay,
I don't
stop.
like the fact that she
When you keep rambling, it
You
makes
just
the way that she engages with sex work.
I don't like the parasociality.
Okay,
I don't like.
when you
I
say-
don't like the fact that she sublimates herself.
Okay,
I don't
stop.
like the fact that she takes.
When
Supplements herself. I don't.
you keep rambling, it
You
makes
just fucking said, Steven. You just asked me to name the fucking things, and then when I did, you were like, "That's too much." So what
It's
do you
not too much.
fucking want?
Okay, I'm sorry. Let me make it clear what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to figure out what you think about each of these particular things and why they're bad. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Okay.
Okay,
So-
I don't like the way that she talks about.
No.
sex
Well, you
work.
said the first thing.
This is what I mean. And she goes just like, it blows my mind. Just stick with one thing. I don't know how this happens. I actually can't take it. When that happens, if there's like 10 things that someone wants to talk about, 10 topics, and we start with one, and then I question them a little bit on that one thing, and then maybe get a little derailed, and then they bring up option 7, and I'm like, wait a minute, can we go back to option 1, and then talk about option 5? I'm like, wait, please, you brought up 7 right now, and we haven't gotten to that yet. Just, can we stay focused on one thing? And then all of a sudden, for no reason, they'll bring up option 4. I'm like, why are you doing this to me? Like, she's brought up multiple times these different things. She brought up the parasociality. She brought up the BDSM. She brought up the way that she talks about how it's empowering. One of them, the empowering one, I think, is the one that she felt like she said the most on so far. Just stick with that one. Just keep hitting on that. But you keep jumping from thing to thing. I don't know if it's like a lack of like feeling like you don't know what you're gonna say. Like, you may have felt like, oh, I wasn't coming off strongly, so I'm gonna jump to a different one that I might be better on. Like, I don't know why this happened.
said was parasociality.
Yes.
Why is what do you mean by that? And then tell me what you think she does it, and then tell me what
I
you
think
think
it is predatory. I think it is predatory.
What is it?
What? Oh,
What is
To
parasociality?
engage-
Yeah.
To engage with people who have like a sex.
wait. Parasociality is not just okay. Maybe parasocial within sex work is just bad. Maybe that's what she's saying. Because I think all streamers are like have some form of parasocial relationship. Anyone who makes any kind of content that I can think of that's more like a YouTube video or something like that has like some level of parasociality with their viewers. Normally, that's kind of how it comes off.
Actual social relationship with you, and also take their money.
Oh, sure, he's
and also, these are
fuck.
just people who are like your fan. I think that is predatory.
Okay.
So I have a
can you-
problem with that.
Okay, yeah. Let's focus on that one thing. I know you want to be intersectional, but on that one thing.
Okay. Yeah.
Why is it so when you say parasociality, do you mean just like talking to people that like you take money for nudes for, or
Yeah, like engaging with them in a social manner at all.
Can you hear me?
we can hear you?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, shut up. No one
Why
cares.
is that bad?
Because I think that I think that it's unfair to the buyer because it's not like a real relationship that they think that it is a real relationship and it's not. You're just getting money from that person.
Do you think that there are ways that you can do disclosure such that those people are aware of what's going on? So like I know that when I send
Informed consent, sure, but I don't think that that changes the effects that it has on the brain. I don't think that these like
I don't know if okay, so parasocial relationships are okay. I think the problem with parasocial relationships are not just the fact that they're parasocial. I think it's fine to have some form of feeling of like a relationship with someone that you watch or interact with through like it's like a one-sided relationship. That can be fine as long as that parasocial relationship isn't taking priority or being the only relationship that you have. If you have normal relationships with people, that you have normal friends that you interact with, a parasocial relationship where you like look up to a certain person that makes content that you like or that you listen to, I don't think that's not necessarily wrong. It's only wrong when it becomes prioritized and it's like the only one. It's supplementing all other relationships that you are having. It's hindering those relationships. That's when it's a bad thing. Just having a parasocial relationship is not necessarily bad.
I don't necessarily think that those men are like they're not gaining anything from those relationships. They're
well,
actively losing.
hold on.
They
They are
are.
gaining something. They have somebody to talk to and sex with or whatever, and then in exchange for that, they get.
But that's bad for like society because then they're not getting like a girlfriend. They're not they can't interact with women on like a normal level. Why are you going online?
So that's the it's only it's only bad when it's hindering those other things. The bad part is that it's taking away or stopping them from doing that thing. It's possible to have parasocial relationships and not like be hindered by it.
That's like not good for men.
If you're going to make the argument that generalized, then couldn't we use that same generalized thing that a man could engage with something that might prohibit his social pursuit of women? Couldn't we use that for all porn?
Yeah, she's against all porn.
Yeah, I'm not super pro porn.
Super pro porn. Yeah, you should be anti porn together.
Literally argued with me in the past on stream saying you're not anti-porn, and now you're saying you're not pro-porn. Do you think
Well,
that
I
all
don't
of porn? Do you think that porn is a bad thing?
I'm not. Yes, I think it's a bad thing, but I don't want to legislate porn out of the world.
Okay, we're not even talking about law right now. We're just talking about if things are good or bad.
But you're asking my opinion, and I'm telling you it's really nuanced. I don't think that porn is
really
great for
nuanced.
anyone, but I don't necessarily think it should be
Okay.
abolished.
I'm gonna
A
work
nuanced
up.
opinion doesn't mean that you don't take a position on anything. Okay, that's not what nuanced means.
True.
My position is that I do not like porn. I don't think that porn is good for society.
I've never. Okay, I'm just saying that if you're going to say that a
Okay,
person
I need to sit
engaging
down.
in some like
Fucking losing
DMing
it.
a sex worker might prohibit them from being might prohibit them from.
It can.
Yeah,
It's
could.
potentially
Sure.
predatory.
And
Do you think it's ever necessary
Oh, shut, please.
What do you mean
Oh,
necessary?
he's losing it.
that this
He's
is a
losing
service
it.
that could be good for somebody? That could benefit their life.
Sure, I think it's more the potentiality for it being predatory.
So because there is a harmful way to
not
interact with
good.
it, nobody should find a benefit if they can.
Because you already said alcohol. I guess there could be levels. There could easily be levels. But the fact that I would go back to is that she already mentioned before that she is okay with alcohol. And we already know that alcohol is going to be like bad for people. So there's potential for things to be bad with alcohol. But she already admitted that's okay. You could say that there's a level where the negatives that stem, there's more negatives that stem from it than positives. So that you would say like overall it is bad. So that's fine. She could say that. I don't know if that's what she's going to say. But she could.
It should be removed.
Well, no, that's obviously very clearly not what I'm saying because I'm doing sex work. I'm reducing harm and maximizing benefit. That's like
Well,
exactly
but you're
what
But
reducing
you're
harm.
automatically looking at Genevieve and seeing a a parasocial interaction that she has maybe with others that you would view as bad. But you're not sure if that bad is the extreme bad or if it's the justified situation. You're making that assumption.
No, but that's like one thing. So that's like an additive. That's like one thing that I got mad at Madame Genevieve for, because she had mentioned that she's like, I talk to all my subs and we have great relationships, and I was like, yike, a warning bell.
Yeah, so you are assuming that the parasociality is a
Bad.
negative.
Yeah, because I think it usually
Okay.
is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing was that I thought that she was really naive and stupid for not understanding that personal empowerment was not like women's
Wait, well, I don't want to
empowerment.
move off that topic.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on, because I don't think we've. Okay,
I cut
if
you
you're
off.
gonna tell me that you have a nuanced opinion on something, that means you've got to be ready to say more than 2 sentences about it when pushed. Nuance
True.
doesn't mean that you say, I don't have a
True.
position on this at all. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. That's not
didn't say
nuance.
that.
That's called fence sitting. Okay, well, you
I
just gave me the
didn't
whole
do
like
that.
the whole 9 yards of drama of like, oh my god, he's gonna ask me more than 3 questions about this. That's what you just did to me.
No, I thought I had already answered your fucking question.
No,
Joe.
Cherry fucking cut me off to ask you some other questions.
Okay,
Bro.
continue. Continue.
I will continue. Okay.
What does this do?
Okay. If you think that porn can inhibit
Wait, do you think? I'm sorry, I'm just.
Okay. If you think that porn can inhibit somebody's ability to pursue relationships, just like parasociality can, then don't we kind of think that all porn or all sex work is kind of bad in that sense?
No. So like I wouldn't think that like educational videos are bad, right? Because
Okay,
then
but educational, let's make that not porn, because that's not.
Let's make that not porn. Shots are more powerful when coming out of a dodge roll. It does not affect speed. Interesting.
That's obviously a
okay,
minority.
so then I'm not doing porn.
Okay, so you're not going to post any nude photographs of yourself, just meant
Well,
to be enjoyed. It's going to be all educational stuff.
Well, people can jack off to those. Like people
That's
are
not
going
what
to
I
jack off
asked.
to
I don't know
those.
what you're talking
Well,
about.
I can't control what people.
What I'm
do with
asking
that
is, are you
content.
not going to post any random nudes or naked stuff? You're only going to post educational stuff.
No, I will post naked stuff also.
Okay, so that's porn.
What the fuck? Why? Why does this happen? Go back.
Educational, let's make that not porn, because that's obviously a minority.
Okay, so then I'm not doing porn.
Okay, so you're not going to post any nude photographs of yourself, just
Well,
meant to
that's-
be enjoyed. It's going to be all educational stuff.
Well, people can jack off to those. Like people.
Oh
That's not
my
what I
God.
asked. I don't know what you're talking
Well, I
about.
can't control what people.
What I'm
do
asking
with
is,
that
are you
content.
not going to post any random nudes or naked stuff? You're only going
Well,
to
I
post
haven't played this guy in
educational
a long
stuff.
time.
No, I will post naked stuff also.
So you all
Okay,
lose on.
So that's porn.
Sure. I think that still images are a little different than porn.
No.
Shut the fuck up. There's no way. There's absolutely no way. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. There's absolutely no way that she truly believed that before she answered that question right there. I don't believe it. I will never believe it. You cannot tell me that before this very moment when she said those words that she thought that that pictures, naked pictures were not porn. I refuse to believe that that's what she thought. This is where I believe when I hear these things, this is where I believe like you are not interested in having a real conversation. You're trying to dodge things. You're trying to make yourself look as best as possible. Or you just haven't thought enough about it. Or you just haven't thought enough about it at all. Oh my God. Oh my God.
That's porn.
Yeah. No.
So
well,
you
sure,
think a
it's still
Playboy
porn.
magazine wasn't porn?
No, I think that it is, but it's also much
Stop.
different than like the hardcore porn. That
It
we're
is,
seeing
and it
today.
isn't.
It's different.
I have to admit, up until halfway mark, up until like 50 minutes in, Cherry was not doing too hot. And Lav was holding her own. I still saw issues, of course, with it, but this looks really bad. This looks very bad.
It's different than hardcore porn, but it's still
Yes.
porn. They're different types
Sure.
of porn, but it's still porn.
Yes, I think it's less harmful though.
Why?
Do you think photos of kids?
Just no.
Do you think CP? is
No,
porn?
way. Stop. Okay.
Yeah,
Why do you
stop.
think still pictures are meaningfully different than like
Wait,
videos?
with the CP thing, do I think a picture
my
of a
God.
kid is fine? Yeah, but if someone is
Fucking
masturbating to a picture of a
bullshit.
kid, it's not
Fuck
fine, right?
me. I fucking
I'm sorry. Go back to what Steven was talking about.
Okay.
yeah.
Stupid
True. You got
Why-
cringe right there, dude.
Stupid.
Naked pictures are
Yeah,
still
true.
porn, right?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, so
I'm very like pro, or I'm very like a pro
Pro what?
sexuality.
What
we're
does
not
that?
talking about sexuality. We're talking about porn.
I'm dead. I'm dead.
I
I'm dead
understand
inside.
that. So I think that there are certain
I don't
things
think
that
you
can become like maladaptive in porn, right?
No, we're not talking about maladaptive things. We're just talking about porn.
That's the problem that I have with porn. It's not that inherently watching two people have sex is like what's wrong with porn. It's the meta conversation around porn. It's porn addiction. It's men's propensity.
Well, then that's I'm losing it. Okay. It's happening again.
To like search
again.
for harder porn or more intense porn. It's the age at which people are watching porn for the first
Sure,
time.
I understand
It's
all
how
of
it
these
affects-
random. Now you're
My
doing the thing you're saying.
problem-
It's intersection. You're just naming a whole bunch of shit that's not related to our conversation.
No, Steven. I'm telling you the issues that I have with porn.
Yeah, you've
It's
gone
not
back
inherently-
before because you didn't want to go down this line of thought, and now we're back at that. Well, it's bad because of this and the meta and the blah blah blah.
Steven,
We've lost the
everything-
conversation.
That's not meta. That's no. I'm having a conversation. Dude, I feel like I'm going fucking crazy. Everything I'm saying, my problem is not
Yeah,
two
you're going
people having sex with
crazy.
each other on camera. That is not the problem.
Okay, so then you don't have a problem with porn intrinsically. You just have a problem with the way society engages with porn, or what?
I've talked about that. I want to make porn not free so that you're able to. You need to.
Why did you just do that? Why did you talk about whether or not porn should cost money or not?
Yeah.
We weren't talking about pricing models. Why did you say that?
Because you cannot watch porn unless you have like a credit card. Like,
Okay,
unless
but
you
we're
pay
not
for it.
we're not talking about business models.
So then people under 18 cannot watch it and cannot build a sexual.
We're not
script
talking
around
about kids
porn.
watching porn.
Yes, Steven, I'm telling you the problems I have with porn and how
I don't
want
care
to
about the problems you have with porn. We were talking about whether
So
or not
what are you fucking
Oh my god.
asking me, Steven?
whether a picture counts as porn, and it seemed like the answer was yes. And so then my question was, what's meaningfully different then if we think that porn as a whole category of stuff is bad?
Porn as a cat, I don't think that, like I said,
You did-
pictures of a naked body or pictures of people having sex is inherently bad. I just said that.
Okay, so then porn isn't bad. It's the stuff around the porn that's bad.
Yes, we've had this.
Okay, you did not say that. You wait. Ooh, we're gonna go back just real quick. Where are we right now? We're at 1 minute. Where the fuck am I? 1 minute 6 minutes. 1 hour 6 minutes. Let's just go back to where we first said porn bad.
I don't like the way that she talks about.
No.
sex
What you
work.
said, the first thing you said was, I think that there are ways that you can do disclosure, such or whatever,
Okay,
and then
social.
in exchange for that they get
But that's not good for men.
use that for all porn. That
Okay.
generalized, then couldn't we use that same generalized thing that a man could engage with something that might prohibit his social pursuit of women? Couldn't we use that for all porn?
Yeah, I'm not super pro porn.
Okay,
Not super pro porn.
you've literally argued with me in the past on stream saying you're not anti-porn, and now you're saying you're not pro-porn. Do you think
I
that
don't
all the
think-
porn? Do you
no,
think
I'm
that porn
not-
is a bad thing?
I'm not.
Oh, she did. She does say it.
Yes, I think it's a bad thing, but I don't want to legislate porn out of the world.
Okay, so porn is bad. She did say porn
Okay,
is bad.
we're not even talking about law right now. We're just talking about if things are good or bad.
But you're asking my opinion, and I'm telling you it's
Let's be
really
very-
nuanced.
I'll
I
let
don't
her-
think that porn
let's-
is great for
full
anyone, but I
context.
don't necessarily think it should be
Let's
abolished.
make sure.
Okay, a nuanced opinion doesn't mean that you don't take a position on anything. Okay, that's not what nuance means.
No,
okay?
my position is that I do not like porn. I don't think that porn is good for society.
I've never. Okay,
Okay, so porn is bad.
I'm just saying that if you're going to say that a person engaging in some like DMing a sex worker,
Porn bad.
whether a picture counts as porn, and it
Okay.
seemed like the answer was yes. And so then my question was, what's meaningfully different then if we think that porn as a whole category of stuff is bad?
Porn as a cat, I don't think that, like I said, pictures of a naked body or pictures of people having sex is inherently bad. I just said that.
Okay, so then porn isn't bad. It's the stuff around the porn that's bad.
Yes, we've had this conversation on 3 separate occasions in 3 different ways, and I've always ended here, where you're like, so porn isn't bad inherently, and I'm like, no, it's what's around it that's bad.
Then
We've had this
why-
conversation 60 times. We invited Kai on to debate me, and we got to the same point also. I've not flip-flopped on this.
Okay, so if porn isn't bad, what is your problem with like Miss Genevieve?
I just
Sure, I know. I just want to hear it again. I'm slow. I'm really stupid. So remind me. So porn isn't bad, and porn sex workers aren't bad. So what is your problem with Miss Genevieve?
It's the selling it as empowerment. She was very pro referral program. That was a big deal for me. I thought that was disgusting. She also said we also thought about like BDSM. She said that it was her she said that sexuality was you couldn't separate
Empowering.
human sexuality from selling sex. Like sex work and sexuality were like the same thing, or they had no difference.
what that
She came
means.
off as very stupid to me. What was the other girl's name? Who was also the sex
Okay,
worker?
let's
Aoife?
sure, let's back up to
What was her
the
name?
first thing you said. Okay.
I had much less of a problem with her. Much less of a problem with her.
Okay.
My problem was with Genevieve
I
because of Genevieve.
Okay, come on.
Okay, so we don't have a problem with porn. We don't have a problem with sex workers. We just have a
Not
problem
inherently porn. I have a problem with porn. Like
That's
I
what
have
I
a problem
just
with porn.
said.
But when I say that,
that. I actually
No, said but that, you and you're said- you- correcting
me, even though I said it. Why?
no, because I know we're gonna fucking loop again if I
We're
don't.
not looping. I'm taking notes.
Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I
Okay,
don't.
okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't think that porn inherently is bad.
We
Sure.
don't have a problem with porn. We don't have a problem with people that work in porn intrinsically. We
No.
have a problem with the environment that they exist in.
Yes,
Okay.
Go with.
and the environment that they're adding to.
Okay, but it's the environment, right?
Yes, but they also can make it worse and better.
Okay. How can they make it worse?
So they make it worse by engaging in like more hardcore types of porn.
Okay, so then, do you think that hardcore porn is necessarily a bad thing?
Yes.
Okay. How do you define?
Hey, yes. Did I hit play? Did I not hit play? Why is this blunderbuss? Shit. Okay.
Hardcore porn, and tell me what you think.
Violent.
Okay. How do you define?
But also, no, because I think that, no. Yeah, no. I do. Yeah, I do.
Okay, I'll delete. Wait. Okay. I'm writing violent. Okay. So when you say violent, what does that mean? Like, does light choking or hair pulling or spanking, does that count as violence?
I think like maybe I don't.
I don't know. It's too
Today,
nuanced.
Okay.
I'm mostly talking about like facial abuse porn. I'm talking
Facial abuse
about like CNC. I'm talking about
Consent, non-consent, okay.
yeah, stuff like
Bloody
that.
tits?
No.
Okay. So can you tell me, like, as like a rule of thumb, like, why do you consider these things like bad?
I think there's like data proving that it like
No.
people who are
We're not worried about that right now. Okay.
okay.
I'm
It's
just-
the same reason I think that child porn is bad. I think that it enforces.
Wait. Why do you think
to
child?
dehumanize women?
Wait. Hold on. Why do you think child porn is bad?
Oof.
Because it like
Consent is the
enforces.
problem. No, consent.
It's like being.
Just say consent.
You obviously have to like abuse a child to
Yeah,
create
lack of
the
consent.
porn of them. It's the same thing in porn where you have to actively like abuse a woman to get the video of it,
Okay.
right?
What are you talking about?
See-
You don't have to abuse. What is happening? No. What?
And C stands for
Consent, non-consent.
okay. Why
can
is
show-
having sex with children bad?
She's trying to feed her the answer. This is so sad.
Why is having sex with children bad?
Yes.
Because their like brains are not developed.
Oh my god! I mean, kinda. Because of that, they can't consent. I'm losing it. This is insane. This person's supposed to be an advocate against anti-porn.
And you're
And
like,
because their brains are not developed, they can't consent, right?
sure.
So consent not.
Sir, why do you say? Okay. That is not good.
Non-consent is different than child porn because adults can consent.
Sometimes I think that that's true. Sometimes I think that adults should be able to. I propose like, again, legislation against this.
We're not talking
We're not
about
talking-
I don't know who brought that up.
because I think I don't have an extreme position on this. I just don't think
I
that-
didn't ask you if you had an extreme position on it.
I'm telling you where I'm at with it though.
Dude, stop playing Doom and take fucking notes.
I am following.
Oh my, yeah. Wait, what? You're attacking him? What is happening? I can't.
The conversation.
No, it seems like you're actually not following the conversation.
I would be so fucking triggered. I can't believe this is happening. Oh my god, I can't believe this is happening.
He is following, and that's why he's breaking down.
No, that's not
Everyone is
fucking-
following,
that's
and you're actually doing porn right now because you're fucking all of our minds without consent, Lav.
Stop.
Got him.
True.
Fucking got him.
Okay. Okay.
I do not think that this is hard to understand, like at all.
Can I explain why I think it's hard to understand?
Sure.
Or am I gonna get interrupted? Okay, I think it's hard to understand because I think a lot of sexually active people that engage in a lot of sexual activities would say that it's
I'm gonna
possible
chest.
for two people to practice consensual, non-consensual behavior in a way that's fun and healthy for everybody involved. And that if we can engage in a behavior as two people in a consensual manner, we can probably watch people engage in it consensually in a way that is fine. So that's where the confusing part comes from.
A part of me agrees with you, and then the other part of me knows that women who are likely to engage in stuff like this are often doing negative feedback loops because they were once abused or
Wait, what am I
because
supposed to do?
there's like a bunch of things that go into something like this.
Wait,
so
You can ask her about men who get dominated. Ask her
Whereas
about
I
men.
do.
Wait.
Oh, she doesn't have to ask me about that. I know all about that.
No, wait. So,
You don't seem to be worried about them.
please
Just the women.
stop! Please stop! Okay, Mike.
Do you think that there's a difference between men and women in society?
No.
Why
Why did we
sensitivity
go off
towards
on this?
women?
No. You don't have to do that, okay? When somebody says something is like intrinsically, I'm only explaining this for the chat. I know that everyone in here knows what this means, but I'm just explaining for the chat so we're all on the same page, okay? When somebody says that something is intrinsically bad, what that means is that if you tell me that thing is bad, I don't need any more information.
Yeah,
I know
it
that
just
it's bad.
is.
So for instance, when
just
somebody
is.
says, oh, yesterday, Jonathan raped Susie. Oh, well, rape is bad because rape implies non-consensual sexual relationship. I don't need any more information. I know that that's bad, okay? So when I ask you if a thing is bad and you go, well, it can be bad, then what you're saying is that thing isn't necessarily bad. There are other things around it that can make it bad, okay? So,
Okay, so rape isn't necessarily bad because if you consent to being raped, then it's not necessarily bad. Do you see, like,
It just makes me sad. Rape is not necessary. So rape, by definition, no consent. No consent. If I consent to being raped. What? I don't know how she thinks she got a contradiction there. I don't know how she thought that she... I'm so
You're
mad.
necessarily bad. There are other things around it that can make it bad, okay? So,
okay, so rape is
Let's go back. Let's go back. I can't.
Susie. Oh, well, rape is bad because rape implies non-consensual sexual relationship. I don't need any more information. I know that that's bad, okay?
fuck is this
So when I
guy?
ask you if a thing is bad and you go, well, it can be bad, then what you're saying is that thing isn't necessarily bad. There are other things around it that can make it bad, okay? So,
okay, so rape isn't necessarily bad because if you consent to being raped, then it's not necessarily bad. Do you see, like, your logic goes nowhere?
no, so rape is
Yeah, I can't. I don't know how this happens.
one of those words that it's not really like you don't generally, I guess you could like colloquially refer to it as consensual rape, but generally we call it like consensual non-consensual. It's kind of what is the name for the play, right?
Okay,
In the
but
same way that like I'm
what
just saying
it is consensual rape.
okay, you can call it that, but what I'm
So
saying
is child porn not inherently bad, intrinsically bad?
Oh my god.
child pornography is intrinsically bad. Yes. The reason why child pornography is intrinsically bad is because the concept of consent, of true consent, implies the concept of informed consent, and
Which
the informing
they're
part.
in-
Exactly.
Wait, let me finish.
Every-
The informing
Oh
part
my
of the
God.
consent can only be done by an adult. So children, definitionally, cannot
Cannot.
consent. So tautologically, child porn is wrong because children can't consent. Yes.
Okay, great. But do you think that mentally ill women who are caught in feedback loops are able to consent?
No, they're not.
you
That's
think-
why I would say it's
exactly.
probably immoral to have porn or sex with mentally ill
But it-
people. But I wouldn't say the porn is bad, and I wouldn't say
But
sex
people
with women is
don't-
bad.
But people, yes, you're right, but people don't always know when they're mentally ill. People don't always know when they're engaging in a fucking feedback.
And you can take that anywhere. Then no one can have sex ever because they don't. No one's possible to know whether or not they fucking are mentally ill.
Loop, Stephen.
Okay, then, but your argument isn't having anything to do then with porn. Your argument has to do with, I guess, helping people get mental help or whatever. It's a totally different conversation. It's not related to anything to
sure.
do with porn. It
I'm
actually has
sure.
nothing to do with
Okay.
porn at all.
No, you're coping. That is literally no. That has to do with porn because it enforces an idea that this is like normal.
Yeah, so does
It's not-
TikTok
it's
with
not
people
normal.
like glorifying mental illness, but it has nothing intrinsically to do with porn.
And I'm also against that.
Okay,
What
but
do
I'm
you
just saying
mean?
that what you're saying isn't intrinsically tied into porn. It has to do with like mental health. It's like a totally different
Yeah, I
thing.
told you I don't have a problem with watching two people engage in sex.
But
with
you
porn
are
itself.
you're making it sound like there's something intrinsically wrong with like consensual, non-consensual.
I'm sure that there are conditions in which consent, non-consent is okay, but vastly, I would say it is not okay.
Okay, so you don't have a problem with consensual, non-consensual then. Your problem is just that sometimes people can engage with it in an unhealthy manner.
Okay, yeah, if we're being like as pedantic as possible.
We're not being
Pedantic,
we're being
shut
clear.
the
We're
fuck
being crystal
up.
clear with our language instead of saying it's nuanced and then not having a real answer for anything.
True.
Sure, yeah, yes, but that's still like generally, if I think that a majority of people who do consent, non-consent are doing it poorly, and I'm against people doing it poorly, it would make sense that I'm against consent, non-consent, right?
No, it does not actually
I think
logically
that's
follow at
stupid.
all. It doesn't
No,
logically follow at all.
I think that that's stupid. I think that that's genuinely stupid, but
Okay, hold on. Let's go back. Let's
it
go
would make.
back.
But that's still like generally, if I think that a majority of people who do consent, non-consent are doing it poorly, and I'm against people doing it poorly, it would make sense that I'm against consent, non-consent, right?
No.
Okay, I think Destiny's being wrong here. If I have something that is 99% of the time it is bad, I'm going to be against it because 99% of the time it is bad. Sure, there's one off that is. I wouldn't say that is intrinsically wrong. Hey, woo! Because technically there are cases where it's okay, where that 1% chance where it's a good thing. But I can still be against it because 99% of the time this is going to hurt someone. So
No, it does not actually
I think
logically
that's
follow at
stupid.
all. It doesn't
No,
logically follow at all.
I think that that's stupid. I think that
I think he's more fighting on the fact that it's not just like that thing is just not inherently bad. Then I think that's what he's
that's genuinely
fighting
stupid. But okay, whatever.
Okay,
Yeah.
so then do you have a problem with sex in general? If most women have at least one like rape story with a guy, should we just say sex is bad, period? Because it seems like most people can't engage with it in a healthy way
what?
for at least the majority of their lives.
You literally
awesome.
said if you cannot tell someone to stop, if you cannot consent or you
God.
cannot advocate for yourself, you should not be having casual sex. You have said that before, and that is
Was
also
that-
my position.
Did I just fast forward in the VOD, or?
Who are you talking to?
My question was, would we say that all sex is bad because a lot of people seem to not be able to engage with it in a healthy way? I don't think
No,
we would
but-
say that. So then we
would
shouldn't say that all
no,
consent.
we would say do not engage in sex if you cannot do A, B, and C to make it healthy sex.
Yeah,
right?
there'd be qualifiers. Sure.
Yeah, so I'd say do not watch CNC or engage in CNC if you don't actively know what's happening
Yeah, but you just said that people can't
To
do
you?
that supposedly.
or how this could affect you, why you want this.
True.
Sure. So then
and if you can,
consent
and how
non.
it affects
and if you can,
and how it affects society.
Sure. So consent
And I think
non.
most people don't do those things before they engage in CNC. So I think it's normal to make a generalization that I don't think that CNC is okay.
Okay, then sex is not okay.
okay, he's being hard here. I don't know. He's being hard-headed here, I think.
Okay, no, we just see it differently.
Wait, no. I see how he's using his logic. I totally fucked up. If we believe that most people, I don't know if she said this. I don't know if she said this, though, the second half. If we believe that most people that participate in CNC don't do the necessary things that she says is required for it to be, like, okay to do it, so 90% of people who perform CNC do it badly, therefore, as a general rule, I'm against it, then that means if you also believe that most people take part in sex irresponsibly and don't do it well and it's like bad, like irresponsible, then you would say that sex is bad because it also meets that threshold. Well, it would have to meet that threshold, but she would have to say whether or not it meets that threshold.
I don't.
How do we? I'm using your logic. You're
Okay,
saying that since a lot of people engage in CNC in an unhealthy way, which is probably true, I probably believe that. You're saying if that's the case, then like we just shouldn't watch porn of it, probably at all. And I'm saying that okay, well, it's the fact of the matter is that a lot of people can't even engage with sex in a healthy way. So
Well,
it seems like we should just.
so I think it should be a cultural shift rather than like a legislative shift.
No one
We're
said.
talking about culture legislature right now.
Well, no, this is my opinion on it. Is that I don't think that we should abolish it, but I think that we should have conversations around shit like this. It's like
I'm just
need to
asking you.
engage
We're
in
not
it.
at that part. I'm just asking what you think is right or wrong.
Well, I'm kind of. I'm like. It's hard to say. It's hard to say.
Yeah, it's too
Okay,
nuanced.
I don't think it is hard to say. I think it's pretty easy to say.
Well, no, I don't think it's right to engage in CNC the way that most people do it. So I'm going
But that's
to
not
say,
saying whether or
That's
not you think
different.
it's right to
Steven,
engage in CNC.
Steven, you're driving me crazy. You're driving me actually crazy.
So is it fair to say that, do you think that most people who enter the porn industry are entering with a healthy state of mind?
No.
Okay. Do you think that most people who
I don't know if
enter
that's true, maybe.
things like sex work, like not only fans like taking pictures in your bedroom, but like sex work, like prostituting themselves, do you think that most of those people who enter that are entering it with a sound mind?
Why did I go that
But
way?
you think that there could be the conditions in which
What's happening with my fucking
prostitution,
mouse?
or even porn, there could be a theoretical world where we could have a porn industry where everybody who does enter it is entering, consensually from a good state of mind.
That is the hope.
Yeah.
But we're not there
so,
yet.
so then by that we could say, like, sure, porn the porn industry as it is
bad.
not the healthiest industry, but that doesn't mean that all porn is bad. And in fact, some porn could be good if it is done ethically and if all the people involved are getting a good
Fuck.
deal and if all the people involved are involving themselves from a sound mental state. I think we could say the same thing. Maybe we could extend that same thing to CNC, right? I don't know if you're muted or. Yeah. So I think you said yes.
Yes.
That with
Okay.
CNC.
I was like, was she just ignoring her?
Even though there are a lot of people who engage in it who aren't engaging in it in a healthy manner, and a lot of people who are engaging in specifically CNC porn and kind of getting random things sprung on them as a surprise. Generally, that kind of porn we can say is harmful, is not healthy, things like that. But we can say that there could be circumstances in which we can make CNC porn healthy and positive, right?
Actually, but I think that hope is a harder hope. I think that's more doubtful, but I think that there is potentially a reality.
Well, I think it's equally as doubtful as porn in general is, because porn in general, like you see people leaving the industry all the time. That Lana Rhodes person,
And coming back.
Sure, coming back. That Lana Rhodes person told a story about how she was on a scene and they sprung things on her last minute, and she didn't really feel comfortable saying no because she thought, there are all these implications that you'll get blacklisted, all of these other things. I think that we can look at porn and say the likelihood of it being a fully healthy industry is as rare as it would be with CNC, right?
Sure, I think that there's more fallout though to CNC because that's like you're actively like.
I don't know about that because see, with porn, again, people like Lana Rhodes have talked about people sustaining like permanent bodily injury as a result of the porn that they engage in, right? Like with specific types of porn that they engage in, they sustain injuries. They a lot of men in that industry are constantly taking drugs to keep themselves hard.
Sure, but that
right?
stays in the industry, whereas CNC like enforces like a.
Does it stay in the industry when we see that women are there's a higher percentage of women getting like surgery on their labia?
Sure.
Yeah.
I think that they're. I think that they're similar. I still think that CNC has. I mean, it has like the porn stuff, like it has like the evils of porn, but it also has like added.
The evils of porn. Oh, I guess all
like you're beating up women, which is like, I think makes it a little more significant. But I still think that there is a hope.
Do you think it's only women being dominated in these situations?
No,
or like you only care,
vastly,
or you only infantilize and assume that women are mentally ill.
Jesus
in these
Christ,
situations?
Jerry.
Got him.
It is. Are you? Do you really think? First of all, there are two things happening here. One, the power structure that we live in obviously affects women more, right? The power structure that we live in inside and outside of porn.
Just the patriarchy. That's the person that you are.
The second thing is that there is far more violent porn against women than there is against men. Period.
True.
If I could interject really quickly,
True.
I don't think that
Not wrong.
I don't think it would be wrong to say that men also suffer from the porn industry. Like I said, we can look at
Whoa, where did that thing come from?
Men have to take all sorts of drugs to keep themselves
True.
hard for extended periods of time, and it can't be healthy for them. And a lot of them are just like popping, stuff to keep them hard for hours and hours. And obviously also men who are in those CNC porns are probably getting. Are in dangerous situations as well. There are men who are taking part in porn that does give them a permanent bodily injury. But I think it's not inaccurate to say that the effects of the porn industry, the negative effects of the porn industry, it's not inaccurate to say that those negative effects disproportionately are towards women.
Yeah, probably.
Even though it does affect men and women, right? Sorry, did I talk too much?
No,
Got him.
I thought I agree with you. I don't know. Was that to Cherry?
Yeah, it was to everybody.
I don't think it was to me.
Well, I mean, Jerry, do you think that it's fair to say that the porn industry does disproportionately negatively affect women? Even if we say that it does negatively affect men, we know that it disproportionately affects women, right?
So what I was putting out is Lav's take against BDSM, thinking that if you're a
my
man and get
God.
off at being violent towards a woman, there's something wrong with you. Women can't consent to this. They're retarded children. They don't know that they've been warped into it by the patriarchy. I think it's super infantilizing. You're generalizing. There's a lot of people who feel infantilized at statements like that, and I think it's pretty. I think it's pretty clear where that's coming from, and I think it solidifies the fact that it is infantilization because she doesn't seem to care about it in the reverse effect for men.
I don't know.
So she is just saying that women are mentally
I do
retarded.
care. I obviously do care if there
not
is
much.
BDSM against men. Like I don't think that I'm not like hell yeah. We should do that more. I just think that it's more of a problem for women. So I've taken that stance.
So you've done what most people probably fear about feminism, is that like you only like highlight where you feel like women are harmed and you don't actually empathize or see the ways in which it also affects men. And then it paints feminism as a very
No, you're like
What?
Fuck
Fuck
you're wanting a
me.
script for me. It's like I'm like a Jordan Peterson
it's not a
apologist.
script. I'm explaining to you what rubs people the wrong way.
No,
Okay,
but
so if I could,
that's not what I do.
I think I have some things that Lav says I agree with, and some things that Lav says I disagree with. But I
You
think
could be a fence sitter too, sorry. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry.
no, it's cool. I think that Sherry, you are not
can
interpreting
you
when I
pick
say
something
these
up?
things about sex work, or I say these things about even just sex work in general. Like that, we know that a lot of people who enter that industry are entering it out of like dire circumstances or out of coercion, or they started coerced and
No,
they
I
end up.
understand. I
You understand that I'm
this
not
issue.
coming from. Yeah, you understand I'm not coming from like a man-hating.
No, I understand.
position.
This is why when we engage with what Lav is saying towards people like Genevieve, who are saying this isn't their experience, they feel infantilized when this is pointed out. They feel like they are actually being demeaned when they're told that they are immature and just victims and don't know it. It does feel
Sure,
like you're taking over their sexuality that they are trying to own. So in
I would
pointing that
agree
out,
with you.
she just manages to fucking change it into a different, like she just She moves the fucking goalpost. Actually, I'm not talking about Genevieve. Actually, this is the big fucking problem. But she is doing the thing where she's deciding for women when they have the agency, when they have the ability, if they have the ability, and she's basically telling you, if you consent and if you feel empowered, you're actually just a retarded child because the patriarchy.
So the way that I would phrase this, I would never say to Genevieve that she's that she herself is a victim, right? I would never say that because I think that there are people who truly enter that industry and are entering from a healthy place and can engage in that industry in a very healthy way. What I would say though is that if I were having this conversation with Genevieve, that maybe just because you are empowered in this doesn't mean that that is the norm in this industry, or that's even common in this industry.
Yes,
right?
exactly what I said. Genevieve engages with that. That's not what Lav said. Okay.
I said that.
She called her immature. She said that she was a victim. She said that her situation is her own.
I would never believe right now, whenever she says, I said that exactly. I'd never believe that.
To understand that her even sharing a positive situation is why 18-year-old women are going to go into OnlyFans, and she is spreading harm.
No, not one positive instance. It was the way she was talking about it in general, and then wouldn't let me talk about what was wrong with it. Wouldn't engage
she let you
with
talk about it.
No,
she just shared her experience.
No, she would not engage on the fact that it is oppressive towards women as a whole. I literally remember having this conversation twice with her, also on Not So Erudite's panel, when I literally was like, you're coming from a place of privilege to be able to have made this choice in your 30s. Most women don't make this choice.
Okay, hold on, wait. Can we just be clear? She wouldn't disagree with any of that, right? Like, hold on, wait, yeah, because we're not gonna present her opinion like she's a fucking retard. Like, I'm sure that if you were to ask her, a lot of women get into sex work probably too early and probably engage with it in an unhealthy way. She would almost certainly say, yeah, of course, right? We all agree with that, right?
Yeah, and what her problem with what you were doing was the fact that you just didn't want her to share the positive aspects.
No,
you wanted her to be.
You didn't understand the difference between personal power and empowerment and liberation.
You said that people need to not just share their positive experiences, they need to share their negative. And she said, I can't make up more negatives. If I have an overall positive experience, I don't know what you want me to do. It's her experience. She can't make up or lie about a fake one. And I think you actually said that you want her to just lie.
Fuck.
What? Perry, you're retarded.
Oh
what
my
are
God.
you talking about?
I listen.
Never
I'm
once
gonna
did
go
I
now.
fucking say that.
There's a chance I am retarded after listening to you for this long.
Thank God, goodbye. Thank God, goodbye.
Wait, is she leaving?
Who left? What is happening?
Cherry just left.
Shit.
So I don't know with the Genevieve conversation exactly what happened, but if I am being generous in this, I'm trying to understand when you talk.
I focused way too much on that fucking fight. What did they say?
A positive experience. I don't know what you want me to do. Experiences they need to.
You didn't understand the difference between personal power and empowerment and liberation.
You said that people need to not just share their positive experiences, they need to share their negative. And she said, I can't make up more negatives. If I have an overall positive experience, I don't know what you want me to do. It's her experience. She can't make up or lie about a fake one. And I think you actually said that you want her to just lie.
What? Perry, you're retarded. What are you talking about?
Okay. I don't know what part wasn't, like, understandable from that. She was just making a claim that what you said. I don't know if that's what she said. You were telling her to lie about her experiences, and man, that's pretty shitty. It's pretty weird.
Listen,
Never
I'm
once
gonna
did
go
I
now.
fucking say that.
There's a chance I am retarded after listening to you for this long.
Thank God, goodbye. Thank God, goodbye.
Thank God, goodbye.
Who left? What is happening?
Cherry just left.
Shit.
So I don't know with the Genevieve conversation exactly what happened, but if I am being generous in this, I'm trying to understand when you talk about personal empowerment versus like women's empowerment as a whole. Is that kind of what you were trying to say to Genevieve? Like, it is totally fine that you feel like, you know, you're taking your body back. A lot of trans women feel that way also because they're unable to get like jobs otherwise, right? So sex work becomes very appealing to them, and they find like power in maintaining their own income and all these things. But overall, this is still something that oppresses women, and you're enforcing that your sexuality is your greatest power, but it's still the thing that oppresses you.
You understand that in one way, like you're actually like doing oppression on the other end, right?
What do you mean?
Like, one of the reasons why people are getting upset is because you're essentially telling somebody that because of the way the society is structured, you can't actually do this thing that makes you feel good. Like, you're oppressing what would make them feel good otherwise because you're saying that they're part of a greater oppressive structure. That's probably where the bad feelings from their end is coming from.
Well, sure, but here's the thing, it's like a job, right? You're not gonna be like, I'm empowered by my Starbucks job.
There are actually tons of people that feel that way.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's not empowerment. You're still like living under like a capitalist structure where you're making like $7 a fucking hour.
I felt empowered when I was when I was working at McDonald's because it meant I didn't have to live with my parents anymore. Even though it sucked and the work was shitty, it felt nice to me that I was like one of the only people that I knew that started working when I was like 16, and I was a really independent person. So that was empowering me. And I'm sure there are some people that work jobs like, oh cool, like I have a job, I can do this. Like, yeah, there are gonna be shitty aspects of things, but empowered or not empowered doesn't mean that every single thing related to something is totally good or totally bad.
Yeah,
like, even relationships have positive and negative aspects.
Sure, that's true. But when you live as a woman and you live your whole life being like, okay, I can't age, I have to be sexy, this is my currency, and then you reinforce that by becoming one of those women that is like the impossible standard, that's like really harmful.
You don't have to become the impossible standard. You might just be somebody who's like, okay, well, I've been harassed or whatever related to my sexuality my entire life, but hey, I actually found out that I can actually make money selling it. Like, this is actually really cool. Like, it feels like it puts me back in the driver's seat about it. So how
That's true. That's personal power. That's not women's empowerment. We're still I'm still keeping those things put in place. Is that the way to make money is through my body, through access to my body. Sublimating maybe what I mean, I'm trying not to sublimate what I want. That's why I'm not taking suggestions or anything. But yeah, there's certainly ways where
But whether you're taking suggestions has absolutely nothing to do with any of this. I don't know why you think that's like an important part of.
well, it's a self-boundary.
Okay, it can be a self-boundary, but it makes no sense to anybody else. Like 99% of people that I jerk off to aren't taking my suggestions. I still like objectify them and masturbate. To
No,
them.
but 99% of the people you're doing have probably been in a Lana Rhoades situation where they didn't speak up during the porn, but you're still enjoying it.
That has absolutely nothing to do with what we're talking about. I'm just saying that whether or not you take suggestions has no bearing on whether or not you jerk off.
How do you not understand that? How do you not understand that?
How do I not understand what?
Yeah.
The difference. You're acting like personal power is like very different.
You
than,
just
like,
totally changed the subject. If you want to talk about something totally different, that's fine. But you totally changed the subject of what you just said. That like somehow whether or not you take personal like orders is going to change the way that like whether what you're doing is empowered. That's nothing
Because
to do with
part of it is sublimation. So if you're sublimating,
it. When we say
yourself,
sublimation,
Who
what do you mean?
joined? Who was it?
I mean, hold on. Sorry, my brain is fucking fried after this conversation.
Yeah, true.
I mean, sorry, I can't engage with that right now. There's too many things happening at once. I feel like we're having 3 different conversations. What was the one that was the most important?
So you're trying to say like I don't take personal requests, so somehow it's like okay, I don't know why you think that would have anything to do with like whether or not porn is good or bad for society. It has zero bearing on almost anything at all.
So a lot of why I think like sex work.
Oh my god, she
Holy
can't do
shit,
it.
I'm like having a stroke after this conversation. I'm suffering from mental exhaustion.
Nice.
Part of why I think porn is bad is because a lot of women, or at least the way that I was engaging with it, is that I was doing things that I knew I didn't necessarily like, but I was doing it for money, and that made me feel bad. And a lot of porn stars come out with that same thing, like Lana Rhoades, saying like, I didn't like doing this, but it made money.
Sure. Okay. But
then,
still has nothing to do with whether or not you take requests or not. But
In its own way, it does, I think. Not in like,
well,
it's
no,
not
it
like
doesn't.
direct.
No, it doesn't.
It's not direct, but yes, it absolutely, yes, it does. It's
No,
not
it
direct,
doesn't.
sure.
It has nothing to do with direct or not. I'm just saying like, you can take requests and decide not to do that. You're not obligated.
Yeah,
to
sure,
it.
sure.
Okay, I'm just saying 'cause you
That's
repeat
what I
a lot.
meant. That's what I meant.
Okay,
That's what I
gotcha,
meant.
Okay.
Like I have firmer boundaries. Is what I meant.
That's good. Having boundaries is good.
Fuck.
I agree.
Me too. Thanks.
Fuck.
Don't say Christ. You're Jewish. You don't get to use that word.
Hashem, oy Hashem.
Oh, that's cringe.
Jesus Christ.
So I don't understand why you brought in the capitalist thing into this. Because
True.
don't you think that in the same way that women are, you're talking about how women are using their bodies to make money. Wouldn't you say, even in an opposite scenario where a woman is staying at home and taking care of kids, her main
Is her
value
body.
is still coming from her body, her youth, her ability to raise
Do
children,
things.
and to have
True.
children. Right? It's still the exact same thing, even if you take out the whole monetary.
True. I don't know why people don't like. I don't know why I would feel any more valued being a fucking cashier at a fucking McDonald's or being like a waiter or something like that. I don't know why I'd feel any more value doing that over fucking doing sex work. To say that one is more demeaning is like, oh, but you're using your body. It's like, I'm literally using my body to fucking like do all this dumb shit that I don't want to do, where I'm just serving some random fucking people at McDonald's. Like, what are you talking about? One is more demeaning because I don't know why.
Incentive.
Sure, but not her sexiness. And when
Why
you-
does that
when you're in
matter?
a world where so much of your worth is
disagree with
tied,
that.
when so much of your worth is tied to how fuckable you are.
Right, but that's the exact. So my issue with this is that I would find the exact same issue in the opposite direction when you're looking at it from a trad perspective, right? Traditionally in the kind of trad standards, women are valued for their youth, for their attractiveness, right? Like you're saying, it's not attractiveness that they're being valued for, but I would say 100% it is their attractiveness, it's their youth, it's their ability to have children and raise children. It's the
true.
so I would say that I think that they're very similar on both sides, and I think actually I don't think that the monetary incentive really is that important there.
I think it is because I don't think that you can buy consent.
Of course you can. What do you mean?
I don't think that you should, I guess.
Okay, without buying consent, all work is slavery. Like, you don't work because you want to work. You work because somebody's paying you to do it. Like, they're buying your consent in a way.
I don't necessarily think that's true. I think a lot of people go into jobs that they like.
I don't think for 80% of people
Not
or
the-
95%
not the
of
average,
working
not
jobs,
the
they wouldn't do
average.
it for fun. They're getting paid to do it.
Yes.
I wouldn't say that high of a number, but I
Fuck off.
I think that that's one of my criticisms of any job. Yeah, that you shouldn't be doing that.
Okay, but we need people to like do jobs that aren't fun for society to kind of work.
Yeah.
right?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, until we build a bunch of robots to do them for us. Yeah.
So one thing I could maybe like relate to you on, Lab, is when you talk about using your body for making money. I do think that there is something that is inherently a little bit more vulnerable and a little bit more personal when it comes to sex work. And I can maybe relate to that. And I personally have not come up with the proper words to kind of explain what that is yet. I do think that there is something that's just inherently more personal and puts you at far more risk when you're doing sex work. And I don't like to compare it to any other job. But if you're just talking about women being valued for their looks and for their bodies, I would say that that's the same across no matter where you are.
Yeah, I think that's an aspect of it, but like you said, it's hard to like place words on like what is so like what makes it.
Fuck
I mean,
me.
I compare sex work, and this might not be like the best.
Wait, hold on.
but
Wait, this is not difficult, right? The thing that makes it different is like that level of physical intimacy is incredibly rare, and anything that involves that level of like physical intimacy is going to be like an incredibly heightened and sensitive experience. This would
Well,
be
no,
similar
but
for like
that's-
combat sports too, right? Like it's a very, very, very like physically
Yeah,
intimate thing.
I was gonna say,
True.
I was just gonna compare it to
Yep.
to sports where
Sure.
people will physically alter their bodies as a result
Yeah,
of how long they've been in
There's-
the industry.
that's one aspect of it, and then the second aspect of it is
Yeah.
it also tends to be an activity that we associate with people that we like love and care for as well, which is also something that makes it unique. So it's the physical closeness of it, and it's the fact that it's something that we typically associate and we'll probably do later on with people that we like really love and care about, right?
So one thing, there's also like a social, there's like a social aspect on this that is like,
Should've
I
used
don't know.
that.
Cherry seems to not believe that patriarchy exists, but
The problem is
obviously.
when you say patriarchy, that doesn't mean anything. You got to expand on
It
that
ends
way
the
more.
conversation.
Because, no,
Sure,
it's
I
not that it
know.
ends the conversation. There's more that can be said there, but you don't say anymore. You just say patriarchy. And when you say patriarchy,
clear-
you're
the clear-
using patriarchy to oppress women. So it's a really weird way when you invoke it. You're bringing up patriarchy to tell women they can't do things. This is a weird way to engage with that topic.
No, that's not what I brought up for. There's obviously a clear power dynamic between men and women in
So
society.
there's power dynamics between literally everybody in society. Some favor women, some favor men.
Sure, and I don't think that I don't think
Power
that-
dynamics
I
isn't
don't,
an
I
answer
don't
for
like
anything.
those.
No,
I don't
of
like
course
power
you do.
dynamics like
There's
that.
always power dynamics. It's impossible to get rid of them.
Sure,
That's fine, but
I-
power dynamics are part of healthy relationships, like of course.
Sure, but I don't necessarily think that like women, like, what do you mean? I'm like not okay with the power dynamic that like women, like cannot get like certain jobs because
The
of
power
being a
dynamic-
woman.
Wait, finish that. Well, wait, finish that. Women can't get certain jobs?
Yeah, or like get paid less for the same position.
That's not a power dynamic. That's just like sexism, or those are like structural problems. It's not a power
Yeah,
dynamic.
well, the structural problems of power dynamic I think are pretty like synonymous when
Nope,
you
they
think
have
of
nothing to
it on
do
a
with. They
grander
have absolutely nothing to do with each other.
scale. Okay, I used the wrong word.
I'm not trying to attack you. I'm just trying to make sure we understand each other. Don't act like I'm attacking you. If you want to attack you, I'll attack you. Being very patient in this conversation, okay?
Oh my
I'm
god.
Not acting like you were attacking
Okay,
me.
well, you
I'm just
slammed
saying-
my
Whoa.
comment. Okay, well, you said it in a sarcastic manner, like I was attacking you when you said it. Okay.
I just said the wrong word.
Okay.
I think, like there are power
Oh my
dynamics in
God.
any job. I think that what Dusty was saying about
Fucking
about
Matt.
the personal, how personal it is,
Attacking.
I think is important. I think a lot of people, when I have this conversation with people, they'll often say that, oh, there's not anything inherently more personal about sex work. All work uses your body.
True.
Sure, so there's a lot of jobs that
True.
do require a lot of work from your body, but I do think that there is something that is very different about sex work on a
What Destiny said, pretty much, and what Stardust is saying right now, it is the difference between that. When I give the example of like working at a waiter, working at a fucking like McDonald's and what, I personally just think that's ridiculous. They said like in society that's normally how we treat people. It's normally between a bond of two people that you're intimately sharing each other and all that shit. I just think that's fucking personally dumb. I think it should be treated the same. You're just using your body, all that shit. Maybe it can't for most people. That's perfectly fine. If you can't treat it that way, that's on you. But to say that one is innately different like that, I don't think that's true. I think we could. I think you can like be different.
personal level that I just don't think it's proper. I don't think it's really respectful even to sex workers to even compare it to other jobs.
That's fine, but the reason why the comparison needs to
Yeah.
be made is because you need to figure out why somebody is treating it way differently. If somebody has a good answer for that, then you can move on from that. But they don't really have an answer for it, and it's like, okay, well then why are you treating it so much differently? It's worth investigating.
Yeah, for sure.
So when you say things like, oh, well, I think it's different because you're forced to do it even if you don't like it, well, that's like all work. Then your
That is all
complaints there
work.
have nothing to do with sex work. It just has to do with like capitalism or something.
True.
But
Yeah, and that's why I brought up my criticism of capitalism.
But if that's the answer, then you have no problem with
That's-
sex work. You just have a problem with work. And I don't know why you fuck with sex work at all.
Steven, I already told you that my problem is not sex work inherently. I've said this 8 times today.
I know, but the way that you talk around it is so unbelievably confusing. That makes it hard to keep track of the conversation.
No, maybe you just should stop playing fucking video games and you get it.
Shut up.
If we were to do a poll for how many people are confused by what your positions are, do you think most people would be confused?
I think it's really. I don't know. I think that your viewers probably half tune in also.
No.
Okay,
fuck
which
you.
viewers are fully in tune with your position? Whose viewers?
Max's. What's your rules?
Sorry, what'd you say?
Whose viewers
Oh
are fully
my
in tune with your positions?
No, I mean,
She's
I
not
mean
even
like
in
half
tune.
of your viewers are.
No,
are
I'm asking which
listening.
viewers are following you completely. Like, if
No,
I go to their
I'm
chat, I'm like,
saying-
oh, you guys know when Live Loon talks about sex work, do you understand like her positions fully? Which
No.
streamers gonna be like, oh yeah, we all understand.
No, I'm saying that like half of your listeners like probably are like have like this muted and are just like watching me play a game or doing something else. I'm
I
not saying
will
that.
actually end
Like, I
everything.
don't know if everyone who's watching is like fully engaged in this conversation. I don't know. I feel like I'm.
You're not engaged in this
I
fucking
feel like what I'm saying is not
conversation.
that crazy, but you're making me.
I am a
Like, you're-
gaslighting expert. That's what I do. Especially
No, like
with
I feel like you're making me feel like I'm saying something stupid
You.
it's
or like I'm
not.
doing something wrong.
Why are you
I don't
doing
think
this?
so. I think
I'm
so.
No, I do
curious.
think so. The reason why
Yeah.
it feels wrong is because you speak with a conviction that seems to attack other people. That's where I've said that a million times. That's where like most of the issues.
I know that, but I don't have I done that in this conversation besides with Cherry because I think she's retarded.
In this particular conversation, aside from representing the Miss Genevieve's position is really dumb. No, I don't necessarily think so.
So why
I
do you
think
make me
it's
feel like I've done something like I've been stupid during this conversation?
I need to take a step back. I don't know if I'm the tone that she's using right now I'm gonna say it sounds very manipulative right now. She sounds like very like wakey on it and very much like how are you saying this about me? How could you say that? How could you do this right now? Like I don't like how this is happening.
Well, the issue isn't what you said in this conversation alone. The issue is between all the conversations.
Yeah, he's right.
Good one, John.
Okay, fair. Whatever. I think that I think that I have a lot of criticisms of
Oh my god, she sounds like she's actually
You sound
gonna.
like a victim again.
Stop.
Okay, Cherry came in. Cherry coming in with the steel fucking chair. Oh my god.
I think
Okay, go with it.
I think I have a lot of criticisms of sex work that are also like I don't have the vocabulary for it yet, if that makes sense. Like
Shut up! Oh my god. I don't have the vocabulary for it yet. Okay. I feel like she's been having this. I feel like she's been doing this for years now. Hasn't this been her thing for like the last year or two? Since she stopped? I don't know when she stopped. I don't know when she stopped. I don't know enough about her.
yeah, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that I have to say that I just like haven't found the words for because I haven't heard maybe someone else say them or because I can't really describe the feeling. Yeah, but overall, like I don't think I've flip flopped. I think that I've definitely added information to the repertoire. But I don't think that I've been like
Repertoire.
yeah, sex work is awful bad, and now I'm like sex work's so good. Like I have the same criticism that I've always had. I'm just like yeah, maybe I have more hope. Like I can maybe do this in a positive way. Maybe I'm seeing things a little more nuanced. Maybe I'm a little more black pilled. I'm like okay, if you can't beat them, join them. I think there's a couple things going on.
Are you testing out new positions with like sad face?
Cherry.
Okay, so what she said was perfectly valuable. She doesn't have the vocabulary for this stuff. She doesn't really know how she feels about it.
Oh no, Wicked Supreme. What are you doing in here, buddy? True. What she said is okay to say. That I haven't thought too much about it. I don't have enough on here. But at the same time, you can't. I don't think you can use this defense after you've come so hard swinging about your positions. Then I think that that's not okay. You can't be so super smug and confident about your positions, and then come out and be like, I don't think I've put enough time in it. You guys can't criticize me about this stuff because I just don't have the words for it.
Right? She's exploring this stuff, but the solution to that is not jumping on your platform with like however many six-figure TikTok digits and making a YouTube video and like jumping up on a soapbox and preaching the shit. The answer is to find that vocabulary and figure out your feelings and explore them with a therapist, not with
Well,
the
not
public.
necessarily a therapist.
Not
It's
with
not
the
like
world.
No, I mean, I think
Everything I've said is valid. Maybe I was a
No,
little bit
it's
too
not.
emotional in the beginning, certainly.
So I think that I've had similar concerns about sex work, and I tend to I haven't really, when I was figuring the words out for this, I didn't really go on a platform
134.
and
What is
speak
this
about
thing?
them. And so maybe that is just the issue because you're in real time learning how to speak about this, learning how to clarify this, and as a result, people are reading
Also,
that
I
you're being a bit
just noticed she's fucking sitting like an anime person with her feet fucking up on the fucking chair. What a degenerate.
critical, and maybe you're not intending to be that critical, or you're being a bit accusatory and you're not intending to be that accusatory. I'm not sure, but
Well, yeah, that's the
but-
issue. Has always been that because like the whole reason why this exploded initially was because it sounded like you were being hypercritical of all sex workers and denouncing all
Yes.
of it. When you had like your coming to Jesus moment about how like
this guy
OnlyFans
was
was
here. I
bad.
didn't
That's what
mean
it
to
seemed
kill
like to
him.
people.
And
Sure.
not backing down from it when she rejoined Patreon. She doubled down on her
Yes,
dig
because
that
I
Genevieve.
think the same. Yes, because I still think the same things. I can say them less emotionally now because I'm a little far removed. I'm not in proximity, the same proximity, right? I think that makes sense.
Wait, so you think that the feelings that you had a month or two ago or whatever when you came out on Max's stream or my stream or whatever to talk about how
2.5
you're
months ago.
yeah you
I think my delivery was not graceful whatsoever. No.
but you think your general feelings are the exact same
Feelings?
like thoughts concepts like you just haven't been able to word it but your feelings are more or less the same about everything because I would say before you
I
answer
gotta
that
say something.
No, you don't actually you don't actually have to say anything wait but I would say that like
I've been waiting for 2 hours.
okay
No,
you're about
fuck
to get
you,
banned from my
John
server
Jacob.
you say some mean or retarded shit so good luck
Okay, why is she crying?
no it's just a serious comment I've got to leave in like 10 minutes and if I like end with you like talking about the Messianic fucking black Jesus
No,
or
no,
whatever.
no. It's on topic always. I just feel like when liberals talk about their emotions all day, it's clearly dominating her psyche. It's like everything the universe is saying. Don't do the OnlyFans.
Vanneman spilled the tea. He did it.
Okay. The yeah, okay. Your feelings should be changing. They shouldn't be the exact same as they were. Like when you say that, it makes it feel like now you're scared to back
No,
off. because
like
you're worried about-
like I said, I'm adding to the repertoire, but I haven't made like
The
some flip flop.
repertoire.
Like
No, don't,
I
again, you
definitely-
could. Okay, this is what I'm saying.
I think I've grown on. I think I've added information
I understand what you're
to
listen, I'm just saying that
the repertoire.
you should be flip flopping. That's a good thing. That's what I'm saying.
No, I'm not flip flopping.
I know you don't wanna flip-flop because you think it's
no,
bad, but I'm
Steven,
gonna-
no, Steven, I'm not going back and forth. I'm adding.
That's
That's
fine.
not flip
But
flopping.
I'm saying that like in your personal development as a human, especially when you're exploring these things.
I'm growing.
Okay. But the ideas going through your head should never be whether or not you're flip flopping because you should be
No, but
changing.
that was the criticism that
Okay,
Cherry
good,
levied
okay.
against me,
Okay,
Steven.
yep, I understand.
Okay.
Okay.
I think what Steven is trying to say is that you could just be real Giga Chad about it and be like, yeah, you know what, I changed my mind, whatever.
No, what I'm saying is
If I
that
could
personal
say-
development involves some
I
level
can-
of going back and forth, and that doesn't happen publicly because you're too scared to develop publicly because you're too busy trying to own prior positions. When it comes to personal development, it shouldn't matter if you're flip-flopping or not, or it shouldn't matter if you said one thing before. There's plenty of times when people try something and then they realize later on, like, ah, fuck, that was a bad thing. You know what? I shouldn't do that. And that's part of your personal growth. But if you're worried about whether or not, like,
Easy
oh, fuck,
mode.
that's making me a flip-flopper, then you're inhibiting your personal growth by trying to appeal to some, like, online debate platform. That's what I'm saying. That's bad.
Also,
I guess that's true.
I do think that you flip-flopped. You do it often in the past like 4 months, but I also didn't want to have a conversation with you because I think in the conversation you will flip-flop, and I think you've already demonstrated that.
Hey, bitch. Whatever.
Damn.
I think that I haven't gone like back and forth.
Fuck
I
me,
think
I
that
didn't have any. I
have like added information to the repertoire, and I
I could've
was
done this
emotional at
perfectly.
first, and
I
I haven't
could've
been
done this.
that emotional since, which I like. And I hope that I'm not emotional again. Who's to say? I've also said that I could quit again. Who knows?
Why is it that when
And
I
that'll be a
call
big
you
flip-flop.
out, you call me a bitch and say I'm mean, but when Destiny calls you out, you're like, you go into like sad mode?
I'm not. This isn't sad.
Rude.
I'm not sad at all.
I mean, before
you
you're in the
told
clothes.
me
Yeah,
to call the
absolutely.
suicide hotline. You fucking cunt. You are a bad person. You're a bad person. You're mean.
You're
You're a
mean.
bitch.
You're
you know this
mean.
about yourself.
That's
You're
good
like,
advice.
You're like, how come when I'm so fucking rude to you, you respond differently than when your friend is talking to you? Are you?
I mean, I
stupid?
already explained why I wanted to give you the suicide hotline.
Okay.
Wait, I want to hear that.
She said that she couldn't help but watch my content and that it was like self-harm to her. And then she showed up into my chat the next day, and I told her she should go, and I linked her the suicide hotline.
Oh my god.
That's
You're like, why
I'm
did
not
you
going to be
respond so
responsible.
what the fuck. I actually don't understand why that's a big deal. I'll be honest, because if someone's
Why did you
memeing-
respond so poorly for that?
If someone's memeing with me about like, oh, you're watching my shit, and then it makes me want to commit suicide, and they come talk to me, I'm gonna like, yeah, I'll meme back. I'll fucking like, hey, are you sure you want to? You sure you want to stay in this community, dude? Here, maybe you need this, and then I'll send them a number. Are you kidding me?
That. And then you're
That's a
like, why
meme.
are you responding? Like, hello? Obviously, I'm responding different to fucking Steven talking to me about it in the way that he is. Hello? Stupid? God. I used to, honestly, after this conversation, I'm feeling so much better about you going over my lore because I know that you're fucking retarded and I don't respect you at all anymore. So you can do whatever you want.
So here's the thing. I don't think I've demonstrated that I'm retarded, but
I
I'm
think that you
definitely,
did a perfect
I'm mean,
job
and I
of
don't care about your
respecting
feelings.
you,
Absolutely.
Like, not at all. Okay, perfect. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep getting clicks and views off of me. I commend you for it. I think that's so cool. I'm so glad that I could be of
Okay,
service.
well, I got the permission, so thank you. Bye.
Okay, you're streaming this stuff and uploading to YouTube. So what does this keep getting clicks and views? You're putting this shit out in the public to be evaluated.
No. She's been doing lore streams where she explicates and writes like notes on my stuff, and it's like she's like getting a lot of good engagement
Wait,
from it.
What's
you
wrong
guys
with that?
like?
But
No,
that's
what's
not
wrong with
what
what
it-
you're saying?
That's
Nothing's
content
wrong with it.
creation. That's
Nothing's wrong with
literally.
it.
Aren't you guys like 100 viewer Andes?
Yes.
Oh,
Nothing's wrong.
I personally wipe my ass with 100 viewers. But yeah, go
Okay,
ahead.
great, John. Nothing's wrong with the content. I'm not
I'm
mad
impressed
at
you
her.
can count to 100.
I'm not mad
Yeah,
at
I
her
am too.
critiquing me.
Wow, you really got me, bro. You should clip that for your YouTube channel.
Like I said, I'm not mad at her
Liz,
critiquing me. I'm mad
I
at
don't
her
know
being
why.
extremely rude. That's what I was mad at. And she's been rude this whole time.
But
She's
you
been rude
don't
this whole fucking
understand,
time.
Lav, it's a Hegelian dialect. The through your conflict, you and her will actually become closer together.
So pissed. I don't
True.
have money for this.
I can't wait.
This is just how content creators interact
So
with each other.
bad.
Some of them
This
are
is how
gonna be more
Steven and I fell in love.
I'm not. I'm.
Shut
I would
up,
never,
Zerka.
I would never talk to.
Shut up,
Okay.
Star Myth.
Yeah, you want to? How about this, Zerka? Speak when you're spoken to. Okay, nobody wants to hear from you.
Whoa.
That is
Wow.
insane.
Are you being racist right now?
Alpha. She just out alphaed you.
I am the
She's
most
being
alpha
racist
person in this
towards me
call.
right now.
How am I
Are
being
you being
racist?
racist? You're being racist.
How am I
towards
being
white
racist to you?
because
Oh,
white
okay,
lives-
that's what it. That's
All I
what
want
it
to say is white lives matter.
You know, I have a
Fucking
shirt
no.
that says it's okay to be white. Did you know that, Zerka?
Beautiful.
I mean,
is this
it's not
guy?
okay. It's fucking awesome.
Oh my
How do
god.
you feel about that, Cherry?
Are you white, John?
Sherry's not in the call
powerful
anymore.
photos. Oh,
Well,
okay.
Sherry gonna
That's
cry.
cool.
Are you gonna cry, little liberal girl? Here, send it to my PO box. I drink it.
The only one who sounds like they're about to cry is you, Zerka. Your voice sounds like you're
Yeah,
constantly
Why are they?
whimpering.
It's so
Okay,
so
Stardust, so
lame.
help her. Help Lavloon. She's having a mental breakdown.
You're the one who needs help. You sound like you're gonna cry all the time, Zerka.
It's because he got bullied by a fucking
It's
a grad student
cringe.
today.
Yeah, that
This
guy
is
looks just
cringe.
like you.
Wow, man. I didn't bring your looks into it.
No, I'm saying that's what you liberals look like. Like, here, turn your
Hey,
camera
tell us
on.
about your full head of hair, John Zerka. I
Hold on.
heard that earlier.
Turn your camera on. Let me look.
Take your baseball cap off.
All right, I will. Turn your camera on first.
My camera is on.
Hold on. What, you're
This
the
is
gamer?
cringe. This is cringe.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
This is me in my rawest form, okay?
Nice, bro. You should bring some of that Reddit sarcasm here. That's what we need.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, to conclude.
Yeah, this
But
is
if
cringe.
that's Reddit sarcasm, what's your humor, Zerka? I
My
punch.
keeper is doing 500,000 views overnight, not staying at
Oh my
100
God.
viewers, 100 viewers for the rest of your fucking life.
Okay, I love you guys. I'm gonna go to conclude.
You know what it is?
My problem.
Sometimes I
Shut
just
up,
wipe my
Johnny.
ass with
Johnny.
your
Johnny.
couch.
Johnny.
Blood on the toilet paper.
Johnny.
Yeah, go
Okay.
ahead.
Johnny.
My problem
Lav,
is
just delete your OnlyFans. You're acting like a total bitch.
my
Got him.
problem is not with Cherry giving me criticism.
Bro,
It's
Cherry's
that-
more interesting than you. She's taking your man. Steven's going to her, bro.
Oh my god, that's cringe.
You lost Steven.
Yeah.
How do you lose a garden gnome? You lost a little boy.
True.
Failed
That's
miserably.
That's
Lav,
not my problem. My problem
you
is.
shouldn't stay up thinking about OnlyFans. You should
I
stay
actually
up
don't have a
thinking
problem
how you
anymore.
lost
I actually
Destiny.
feel a lot better about all of it, and I actually don't care. I think that this has been really cathartic.
I actually
for
don't
me.
care
I actually
at
got all
all.
my anger out, and I feel a lot better.
Fucking cringe.
What? It took you 4 hours to feel better? What are you, a toddler?
I guess, yeah.
Fucking pay
I actually
Destiny
don't care
right
at
now
all,
for that
guys.
therapy.
None of this matters.
Okay.
I don't care at all.
Fucking take all my Destiny time. You ever think that I wanted to talk to him today? You ever think of that? Or is it just me? It's always you girls, me.
Then, John, how come you come on whenever I'm on? Do you have like a crush on me or something? You like really love to be around me.
Crush on you? What are you talking about? My eyesight is perfect.
But you come on whenever I'm on lately.
Honestly, I love liberal tears. Like, I love your side coping. That's
I'm
always
not
sounded-
liberal.
Well, you know, yes, you are. Think about it. Your ideology is maximizing individual liberty as long as it doesn't hurt anyone. I can marry my mother and fuck her as long as it doesn't hurt anyone. That's your ideology, which is do what
Bro.
thou wilt. It's satanic, and you need Christ. You don't need OnlyFans. That's what you need. You need
I'll
Christ.
think about it. I'll think
No,
about
don't
it.
think- well, don't. Yay.
Okay, are you gonna take me to church?
Take you to the church. I don't want to burst in a ball of flames. You go there yourself. You're a fucking satanic. You're going to burn in hell.
Okay, I'll see you on the next Royale, Zerka. Love you. Bye, guys.
Be careful.
You see that? All she needed was some toxic masculinity. You see that, Jack?
You fixed her, man.
Yo, true.
Hey, you took 4 hours. How do you feel now? How do you feel now? How do you feel? It's not working, bro. Roast the shit out of her.
The true red pill. That's what you needed.
Yeah, the true red pill, you treat them fair and they feel human again. When you treat them all nice and shit, they go, oh, I want more niceness. Can I have more niceness? Let me tell you something about women, all right?
All right, tell me.
Eve from Adam and Eve, that fucking whore. She literally had the perfect reality, a utopia of infinity, and the bitch said, I want more. What the fuck? She said, I want more. Bitch, you're in paradise. How can you have more? That is greed. That is just greedy. And you're allowing people to be greedy. I want more feelings. Can I have more feelings?
Hey, not taking
You're pretty in your
anything.
feelings right now, dude.
Of course I am, Stardust. I'm talking to you. Every time I talk to you, you know who you remind me, Stardust? You remind me of me when I was younger. And yes, I was once a liberal loser like you, Stardust. And I called myself a lefty.
Okay, guys, listen, it's been fun. I'm glad we had this today. I'm glad we did this. I'm glad we got all our feelings out.
Oh, is it ending?
See ya. Thanks for having me on.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. Thanks for
Wait a minute, I stayed 2 hours silent.
Whoa,
for
where did this guy come
I
from?
have to go eat.
Best
Dylan
content
is in town. I was gonna go meet him.
Bro, I hate that girl, man. Wow.
Well,
Thanks, buddy.
How you
Oh, I
doing,
gotta
Sabrina?
go.
Okay.
That was fucked. That was so fucked. That was beyond fucked. That was beyond fucked. Well, that wasn't even the big thing. I thought I was gonna look at like the Mr. Girl drama. I guess I'll have to watch that tomorrow and see where that goes. That was not good. That was not good at all.